Want to become an elite level athlete? Well, look no further. The Reclaim Your Throne Elite D1 training course is all you need to take your performance from subpar to the creme de la creme of athletes all around the world. The purpose of this course is to give you a comprehensive weight training, speed, flexibility, recovery, and endurance program that is meant to prepare young athletes for collegiate and professional sports. This course is packed with over 2 hours of creative, action-packed lifts narrated and coached by yours truly to assure increased strength, speed, flexibility, recovery, and endurance. Hey, I get it. Training alone can be tough and can even make you feel misguided or somewhat unmotivated. But with this course, I walk you step by step through each and every lift to make sure you're using the proper form to prevent injuries and that you're hitting the correct muscle groups to render maximum results. So what are you waiting for? It's now or never. So go ahead and get the training course today so you too can reclaim your throne.
All right, guys. So for my final clip, this is actually a scene from the show Atlanta that was created by Childish Gambino. And it is basically depicting the underlying beef between sisters and, snow bunnies who date brothers and may even date brothers exclusively. Now, we all know there's a difference between a snow bunny who's dating a brother or a snow bunny who only dates brothers exclusively. So we all know there's a difference in that, which I don't have time to go into. But what we are going to do is break down this clip and dig into some of the gripes that Black women have when seeing successful Black men with Becky's. Let's watch.
Yeah, I'm staring at you. How?
She says, yeah, I'm staring at you, and calls her the H word off rip. The disrespect.
Not really. Saddled over there with your black man accessory, and I'm just tired of that story.
So she off rip called the brother an accessory, and maybe that's the reason why you're not really successful with Black men if you look at them as an accessory, especially if they're with a woman of a lighter skin complexion.
Maybe I'm just a good woman.
Huh?
Like a good girlfriend. Maybe I add value to his life. I've been with him since he was doing community theater. I cooked, I cleaned. I've had his back from the very beginning.
And sisters do not like to hear that. When women of other races are cooking and cleaning for Black men, they don't like to hear that at all, because a lot of times you ask them if they're willing to cook or clean and they're talking about no. And it's just like, dude, one thing that Black women really could have an advantage on other women for is cooking, because a lot of modern women don't want to cook, but it's even more pronounced in the community nowadays. When you're supposed to know how to cook, you're supposed to know how to throw down, you're not supposed to be catering Thanksgiving. And a lot of sisters are on that type of time. And the cooking, mama's cooking, I know that was a theme, on YouTube for a while, from Bus Life. I forgot his real name, but he used to play in the NBA. Anyways, but you're supposed to be known for your cooking. And we always say, oh, white people don't put seasoning on their food and da-da-da-da. And then you have women blatantly out here, sisters, saying that they don't want to cook at all. So if you won't even do the basic thing for brothers, then what are you going to expect? Like, what type of result are you going to expect? Because if we got women who are willing to cook, that's who we going to go with, man.
I've always supported him. Maybe two good people found each other, and I'm a good woman who found a good man.
Bitch, don't even act like you don't know what's going on out here. You got all the advantages in the world to be a good woman. You can afford to invest early. I ain't got time to be sitting out here with no community theater ass nigga for 8 years.
So you heard that. They don't want to build. And this is not just sisters, because I showed you the clip earlier from TikTok. She didn't want to build either. The sister saying she ain't got time to be building with no community theater ass Negro. And that's sad to hear, especially and just like listen. And I know they're acting, but listen to the difference in tone, the difference in demeanor while they're having a conversation, the where the hostility is coming from, it's not a good look.
Reaching on the goddamn star. There are plenty of good black women, but you won't see Brad Pitt trying to date Shonda Rhimes.
Okay, so that's why I want to stop her right there. She said there are plenty of good black women. I mean, that's arguable as well, because when you look at even the overweight statistics, 75 to 80% of the sisters in the States, at least, are overweight. Unfortunately, it doesn't bring me joy to say this, but to just go out and say, oh, there are plenty good sisters. I mean, it really is hard to find. And this is me, like a guy who, I mean, I didn't date out of my race until like 22, 23. It really was hard to find somebody who wanted to, you know, stay in a relationship and not just do the hookup thing. I know they try and paint the picture that, oh, men are the ones who want to do hookup culture. Bruh, I'm gonna tell you right now, that's a damn lie. Most men really do want relationships, especially their first, second, third, fourth, fifth crack at it. But after a while, they start to realize that these chicks are not about it, okay? And they do not want to be tied down. They don't want to be led. They don't want to submit. That's a dirty word in the community when it comes to our women as well. So that's another thing. And also, she mentioned you don't see Brad Pitt trying to date Shonda Rhimes. Well, first of all, Shonda Rhimes isn't that high. And for second of all, you know, white men, even, you know, and this is not all, but guys from other races are not really looking to marry, at least marry. They might smash or whatnot, but they're not really looking to marry sisters. So that's why you don't see it, because quite frankly, I'm not going to say they're not attracted to them at all, but what I will say is they're probably attracted to a very small percentage. And just like, you know, there's a small percentage of women outside of you know, the black race who are attracted to black men. I mean, it's larger than that of black women, but it's still, if you go to each demographic, I would say when it comes to Hispanics, it's probably like I'll say like 30-40% who would rock with a brother. I'll say in the white community is probably 25-30%. I'll say in the Asian community is probably like 10 to 15% who would rock with a brother. And I would say in the Indian community is probably the same as Asians, even though, you know, they're both Asians, I guess. But y'all know what I'm saying. Anyways, yeah, I mean, the reality is that the men of other races are not as attracted to the sisters as brothers are. So that's that.
No. Type beautiful woman in Google Images, honey. Then you can talk to me.
Huh?
Just love Devion.
Bitch, I love him too.
So there you have it. All the gripes of black women toward white women who date black men laid out on the table for everyone to see in the show, depicted in the show Atlanta. Very interesting topic here. I want to know what you guys think about my opinion on it and this video in general. But you already know what it is, man. It's your boy, Reclaim Your Throne. Make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe. Send your relationship question to the email down below with a screenshot of your CashApp, so I know you pay your tithes, man. Y'all need to be on your mark for dealing with the BS. You already know. Reclaim your throne.
Want to become an elite level athlete? Well, look no further. The Reclaim Your Throne Elite D1 training course is all you need to take your performance from subpar to the creme de la creme of athletes all around the world. The purpose of this course is to give you a comprehensive weight training, speed, flexibility, recovery, and endurance program that is meant to prepare young athletes for collegiate and professional sports. This course is packed with over 2 hours of creative, action-packed lifts narrated and coached by yours truly to assure increased strength, speed, flexibility, recovery, and endurance. Hey, I get it. Training alone can be tough and can even make you feel misguided or somewhat unmotivated. But with this course, I walk you step by step through each and every lift to make sure you're using the proper form to prevent injuries and that you're hitting the correct muscle groups to render maximum results. So what are you waiting for? It's now or never. So go ahead and get the training course today so you too can reclaim your throne.
What's good, cyberspace? It's your boy Reclaim Your Throne coming at you with another crazy video. But first, my goal is to get to 5,000 subscribers by the end of the month. So make sure you go ahead and like, comment, share, subscribe. And you already know, Reclaim Your Throne. All right, so guys, let's get into it. We are going to continue our breakdown of the Andrew Tate, Brittany Renner, Just Pearly Things debate. And this one's going to be a fun one. I did play that clip in the beginning about IR dating, that scene from the show Atlanta, who I didn't direct. I didn't put that scene in there. That was Donald Glover, a.k.a. Childish Gambino, who did that. So all the people who are in my comment section, all the sisters who are in my comment section saying I hate myself and oh, da-da-da-da. Hey, look, I just reacted to the video and I gave my honest opinion and they didn't like it, man. So I did invite them to join I did invite them to join the stream if they had any disagreements, which I will put the link to join the stream right there. Now, you aren't going to be able to come up if you don't cam up. So I'm not going to be talking to a blank face. Okay. It is what it is. We ain't going to do that. Anything that you're going to say it to my digital face. Okay. So let us get into this video of Andrew Tate, Just Pearly Things, Brittany Renner. Let's do part 2. Let's go.
Thank you very much. Do you think that men marry for like high status families? Like I'm thinking of like Ivanka Trump. Like would someone marry a girl for like status in that way?
Well, that is one of the most, I mean, if you look at arranged marriages, it's all for status, right? That's an example. But men primarily marry for, I'd argue that men, and I say this about men, but women do the same thing, right? Women love the idea of getting stable.
Women actually marry more for status than men. See, a man will take a girl who nobody knows, whose family isn't rich and all that shit. Men rarely marry into rich families unless it was something where they both were married into the rich family. Like, men aren't out here trying to come up off of marriage. As a matter of fact, it actually can hinder you in many ways. So men aren't trying to finesse and come up after marriage. That's a woman thing. That's a woman thing.
Is from a man. Women love the idea, and this is where it actually gets a bit messy. The waters get muddy because women love the idea of bragging about the man they're with, but they can only brag about the man they're with if other women want that man.
Yep.
So you're saying you love women who get cheated, women love getting cheated on. That's not true. But women do not like men that other women don't want.
Yes.
If you were to say, look, I got my man, he's perfect, he's rich, he did it, and every girl in the room would go, I would never touch him. She'd be like, oh shit. Well, I don't want him either then.
Exactly. Even if you put Rick Ross in a room with shit, man. I mean, Rick Ross could be in a room. I mean, it happens in the clubs all the time. And I'm not saying, I don't think that Rick Ross is ugly. He's just, out of shape. So, and he's been working on that, but he's a fat nigga. He's a fat nigga at heart. It is what it is. And sometimes like fat niggas are like, I'm a fat nigga at heart, but I am going to lose weight to stay healthy. But at the end of the day, I'm still never going to be like a six-pack swollen guy. Like it'll never be like a situation where what happened to Gucci with Rick Ross, because Rick Ross is just kind of trying to stay in shape so he doesn't get high cholesterol and diabetes and, keel over for pre-existing conditions from the pandemonium. But ultimately, if you put Rick Ross and a super hot guy in the room, Rick Ross is still going to be able to pull all the bad bitches, because that guy, you don't know who he is. It's just some random hot guy. Yeah, he might be tall and fine and all that stuff. And he might even bag him one or two in there. But at the end of the day, guess what? They're going to Rick Ross after party. That's how this works.
What the fuck?
But can I add on top of that?
But it's true, right? No. Women want men that all the women want.
Do you know what's the best man that woman wants? Is the one that every girl wants, but he doesn't want them.
Okay. Nope. And that ain't true at all. See, what she keeps talking about, oh, well, women want the man who everybody wants, but he doesn't want, he's not for everybody. No, he's for the women that he finds attractive. He's for the women who he wants to fuck. That's what that's what this thing is about. Okay. And it even starts at a young age. You see I Heart Memphis. We see NLE Choppa, two guys who are in the hip hop industry who have, set the standard that, hey, we are going to be polygynous. We're going to deal with multiple women, and you're just going to have to take that on the chin. That's why you had NLE Choppa's older, girlfriend crying and all that kind of stuff. And she was sad because NLE Choppa wasn't trying to cuff her. He's like, look, man, or he wasn't faithful. He cuffed her, but he wasn't faithful. Or, well, let me say he was faithful, but he was exercising options and she didn't like it. Even though he was honest, she still couldn't take she couldn't take the heat.
Man,
Yeah,
I'm sure that's more valuable than the top.
But that's the fantasy.
You're
saying
That's
that
the
men,
fantasy.
but Tate,
No, that's
you're
not
saying
the
that
fantasy.
men are
That's
now
not that
polygamous
selective.
and women should accept that. That's the problem. Men are continuously disrespecting their woman. Like, yeah, you know what? You can't be with one woman. Now you want to keep cheating with all these
But
different women.
that's not what he said. He's saying if you're gonna go for a high status guy, if you're gonna go for the top 5% of guys, that's what comes with it. And if
Yeah,
not,
but
then go for the average guy.
Can I just say that before?
So is it okay for average guys to stick with one woman then?
It's not about okay. It's okay for anyone to do whatever they want. I'm not sitting here saying what's okay and what isn't okay. What I am talking about is observations about the baseline realities of how humans function. What I'm telling is if you give a man unlimited options, like the men at the top of society have, on a long enough time scale, he will explore said options. That is a fact. Like I said earlier, you can walk into a car garage and buy a Nissan, and that's reliable. It'll never.
But see, women aren't the same because women have all the options in the world and they only choose a small percentage of guys, whereas men don't have any options until they build. And then once they get the option, then they are going to choose what they want. See, we live a different existence.
Or you can buy a McLaren. You cannot sit like women do and go, I want the McLaren that's reliable like the Nissan. Well, guess fucking what? That's not real. So you have to choose.
Can I ask you something, Mr. Tate? Can I ask you something?
I want to
Years
go next.
ago,
I want to go next.
right? Do you think it makes a difference? Because years ago, if you want to meet a man, you go out there, you actually talk. But now you meet a guy, he can go and check out your IG and see what you're all about.
Yeah.
Don't you think that by them being able to look and see what you're all about, that makes a difference to other person?
Yep, Auntie spitting facts. Look, when I meet a girl, I'm going straight to the IG. I'm seeing what type of time she on. If she on thought culture time, then I'm gonna put her in a category, point blank.
100%. I think society is fundamentally and utterly broken. I think the way that men and women interact is broken. I think that men are broken. I think that women are broken. I think everything is completely fucked. Genuinely.
So he's right, but the women are way more broken than the men. At least men are like not out here on TikTok fucking crying about dating and shit like that. We're just pointing out the obvious. And a lot of the guys who do this type of content, they have women. So, it's funny how people try and shape the red vitamin as a certain thing when most of the content creators are in relationships.
And this is where we go into the small things. We're talking about status. You're right about IG. If I go on a date with a girl and I look at her Instagram page, I'm sitting there thinking, does this make me look good or bad? Yes, I want her to be hot. Yes, I want her to have followers. Yes, I want everyone chasing her. But what's that caption about fucking city life? What's this about? What's that? That's not, nah, that puts me off, right? So it's interesting.
Yep. He said, what's that caption about? Hell yeah. I'm reading the caption. I'm looking at if you on the explore page. I'm trying to figure out what you got going on your Instagram. It's easy to detect if a woman is an escort or not. The more provocative she is online, the more she's escorting. Big facts.
Interesting. What's also interesting is the majority of women don't have a clue in the modern world what men find attractive. So we said earlier in the very beginning of this podcast about men who want their dick sucked, all this bullshit. Men don't, that's not attractive to men. We don't want any of that. Most women, if you were to say, how do you attract a man? They wouldn't have a Scooby-Doo. They wouldn't have an idea.
I know. They want a submissive woman.
No, for sure. Definitely a smile, though. I mean, you can't get a smile out of a lot of sisters. And this is where I'm going to hurt some feelings because they was in the comments earlier in my video that premiered yesterday. They don't want to smile at you. When you walk past the street, you say, hey, how you doing? Nod your head, whatever. An acknowledgement of someone's existence is really all men are asking for. Like, these women think that they don't have to, and they don't have to, no, for sure. But at the end of the day, if you're looking for a man, you need to acknowledge the men that you're looking for existence and not just like think that they're going to come to you. Because, yeah, if you want a top tier guy, you're going to have to make the effort to get on his level, not the other way around. A lot of women talking about, oh, well, you should approach me. You should approach me. Yeah. I mean, if a nigga is really having a bag like that and he doesn't particularly see you and want you that bad that he's going to approach, you're going to have to make the effort. And they do it every time. That's how they get in them sections. They get close to it. They dance, they twerk around the section, and they get pulled in.
Hello, my
She
name's
cooks for him.
Benalba.
Give him some massage.
It's not- no, but it's not-
Feed him great.
It's not just. No, it's not. It's not. Even,
Pat his head.
it's not just. It's not.
And why is she being condescending? Because we know for a fact that women love being pampered. They demand to be pampered by their men. So she's talking all this, like laughing and trying to be condescending. But obviously, we already broke her shit down, dude. I mean, she's just like a fucking bucket. She's not cute at all. And she's talking hot shit like she's like a bad bitch or something. It's just like, ma'am, you are not cute.
Just about that. The one of the important things for being a man, especially in a relationship, is we want to be our woman. If I have a woman and I love her, I want to be her portal to the world. I want her to experience things through me and see things through me. So for that, I need a degree of innocence and purity for her. I want to be the first person to put her on a private jet. I want her to get on the jet and go, wow, I did it. Oh,
yep, exactly. The excitement, the novelty. Women literally have no fucking idea what is attractive to men. Shout out to Lalo Salamanca. Okay, he says mostly women crying. Yep, online. Shout out to House of Lamar. He says, what's up, bro?
You took me. It's like you wouldn't want to give someone a Christmas present if they'd had 10 presents better than you beforehand.
Yeah,
would you? It's like, well, duh. So as a man, as a woman, what makes you attractive to a man to a degree is your innocence and your purity. This is very important. And it can go down to very basic, simple things. I'll tell you, if I walk in a club, do you know who the hottest girl in the club? It's the girl who isn't dancing, isn't twerking on fucking stage, not surrounded by dudes. When girls want male attention in the club, they start drinking, twerking. That is the most revolting, haram bullshit. I may want to fuck you, but I don't want to be with you. If you show me a girl sitting in the corner, shy, I'm like, good, she hasn't experienced too much life. I can show her things. And also, not just show her things. This is a very important point that I get attacked by the Matrix for because they completely misunderstand me on purpose. As a man, if I'm out here struggling and leading and trying to lead my household, I also want a woman who shares my values. I want to a degree to educate my woman and show her things and for her to agree with me. Like you said earlier, looking for a male role model. You want to be a role model to your woman. If she's too experienced with life, it's difficult to be a role model. If she's sitting there shy and quiet, you can come along and say, no, you know what? Don't take the fucking vaccine. Listen to me. And you can be a...
And also, like, when these women are... when they're out, like, on their own, that's when they gonna act up. Or with their friends, that's when they gonna behave the worst when they go out. Like, yeah, you can say, oh, well, I go out and nothing happens and I don't do anything and I don't go home with no men. Yeah, but you've done it before. So that's really what it is. You've done it before. Okay. Point blank. You've done it before. And yeah, it may not happen every night you go out, but you've done it before and it's a possibility. And you do it when you want to. That's really how it goes down.
A role model for her. You can't do that for a woman who knows too fucking much, knows too many dudes, been too many places. So it's this degree of purity that we're looking for that's super important.
I'm curious if you said if she's like done too many things, that's like bad, right?
Yes, correct.
So I'm not even talking sexually, like been on a private jet. Yeah. I'm curious because I lived
But how do you get on a private jet without sucking dick?
Oh, I was just curious because my dad's part of like he's top like 1% in terms of like income. And I was just curious, is it different if you did stuff with your dad?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, if you come from a good family, I mean, you're good. There's no issue. She knows that's different. Come on, Pearl.
That's fine.
No, not like that. Not sexual. That's no. I meant like
she said private jet.
Yeah,
I know what
private.
you're saying. Well, I mean, I know exactly what you're saying.
Yeah.
But my point is that we're looking for a true degree of innocence inside of females, and it's that innocence is going to make us feel protective over them, and that the protectiveness is going to make us be good men.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So when we're looking at society as a whole and how broken it is, I understand that men have a massive role to play. Women have a massive role to play, but a lot of the paternal instincts and instinctual behaviors of men, because the instinctual behavior of man is to die for his woman. Mm-hmm. Like someone comes to try and take her, pull a sword, die to defend her, right? Mm-hmm. If you're going through life and you find that men don't really feel about you that way, that's because a lot of their instinct is being eroded by the fact that you, like you said, they look.
You've been ran through straight up. It's like, I ain't finna risk it all for this bitch. That's how it is.
IG, or they look through your life and you've lived so much life, and they just feel like, there's nothing new I can bring to this girl's reality.
But I don't feel like that's true though, because like I think it's like I get.
Look at his face when she said that. I don't feel like that's true though, Brittany. You done it all. You a done. That's what we used to call him back in the day. Done it all. You a done, Brittany. Like, come on. She's done, and you're done. You're done. It's over. You done it all. In your 20s, you maxed out. She was with an NBA player. She was with an NFL player. She was with all these different people. So you're maxed out. You're a done.
I get what you're saying to a degree, right? But it's like you could be on a private jet 10 times, but it's going to be special because it's with you.
Yeah.
Not for him, it isn't. Not for him. For him, it's special because it's your first time. Because men, maybe it's a biological predisposition.
It's about novelty.
Maybe it's just the way we're designed. But let's tie it back to sex. Virginity, first time. It's not that you've done it. It's that you've done it with the first time with me. That's what is important. Yeah. It's experience as a whole that men find. It's just the truth. Call me misogynistic. Yeah,
they hate that. Well, just because I've had sex with other men doesn't mean that I lose my value as a woman. That's what they're going to say.
Misogynistic, cancel me, whatever. I'm telling the truth. I always have done. It's experience of life as a whole that men, to a degree, find off-putting. We don't want a woman who's had a bunch of trauma, had a bunch of
facts. And I spoke on this on the Overdose podcast where I was saying, hey, I would not want to date seriously a woman who has been raped. And they were so upset when I said that. But I know from experience, I've done it before, and I understand the psychological issues that comes with that. And they really make your life a living hell. And they're just, a lot of times they're overall pessimists. Not all of them. Some of them heal and they're great women and all that good shit, right? But a lot of them really go into life pessimistic after something tragic happens. And I can get that, but I can get that for sure. But too much of that, especially coming from a woman, like it's okay if like a man is like, you know, addressing reality and understanding reality is bleak and all that kind of stuff. But when you have a woman who's just super pessimistic and she's a nihilist even about men, especially misandrous or whatnot, then you have a problem and she's damn near undateable. And that's what happens, you know, unfortunately, after some, not all, but a lot of women, you know, are taken advantage of in that way. So.
Done a bunch of shit, knows a bunch of people, been a bunch of places. That's the absolute opposite of what we want. We want the complete polar opposite of that. Yeah. And what's funny is women want men who have done those things. I'll tell you right now.
That's why the saying goes opposites attract, and they still don't get it.
Go out there and find a virgin woman and say, do you want to have your first boyfriend? Do you want to lose your virginity to a virgin man or a man
virgin hunk?
Or a man who's had a couple girls? She'll choose a dude with experience as a virgin herself.
A virgin hunk, yeah. Good luck finding that. I mean, what is Denelva talking about? A virgin hunk? No, ma'am. The guys who stay virgins usually are not attractive, and you know it'll be a whole bunch of guys. Oh well, I'm a Christian and I'm waiting to. Dude, that's hella cope. I get it. You're saying this, and you know. You might be saying this, and even, you know, some Muslim guys too might be saying this. And I'm not saying that, you know, you shouldn't honor your faith and all that kind of stuff, but a lot of them are coping. It's copium, bro. Like you haven't had real opportunity to do that with a girl that you really wanted to hit. Like, you haven't had that opportunity, bruh. So what you're doing is coping. So it's crazy.
Experience is always coveted and respected in men. It's the opposite in women.
That's true.
So,
That's true.
it's true. So we have to look at how fucked up the world is. Women, especially between their 18 and 28 or 18 and 25, let's say, are living these crazy lifestyles, these crazy lives with the most important people, richest people on the planet, everything that can be experienced under the sun. And then at 29, 30, some dude's expected to come along.
Yeah, that's a bad deal. And it just comes down to, that's a bad deal.
No, he's second place to X, Y, Z, and be happy with that.
How can a guy come up after, I mean, Brittany Renner has a whole selection of niggas. Like, how is he going to feel when he's watching the Super Bowl with Brittany Renner and playing Big Stepdaddy? How's he going to feel when a fucking Kaepernick commercial comes on? It'd be different if not everybody knew that she fucked Kaepernick. But I mean, what's going to happen when you see, when you're on TikTok and you're hearing this, I just want to rock. I just want to rock, body, yada, yada. Like, dude. And you're dating Brittany Renner, and you know that Brittany Renner admittedly in her book gave top to Lil Uzi, and you're listening to, bro, what type of man wants to deal with that? You know what I'm saying? It's just not an appealing situation. It's a bad deal. It's a bad deal. Well, I mean, what type of guy wants to go after Kevin Gates? When you see clips of him, bitch, bend over, sit up on your toes, knock your head back, baby, breathe through your nose. Like, dude, it fucking matters. It matters. It matters.
And not allow it to hurt his ego, and sit there and pick it up.
Shout out to House of Lamar. He says, mildly attractive, lucrative, communicative, operational, likable man. Yes, sir. All my Malcolms in here. Okay. Salute to the Malcolms up in here. Up in here. Up in here. All my Malcolms, I need you to come to the dance floor right now. Okay. We gonna make the Malcolms a big thing, man. We gonna make the Malcolms a big thing, man. Shout out to all my mildly attractive, lucrative, communicative, operational, likable men. Shout out to all my medium ugly, lucrative, communicative, operational, likable men. Guys, we are out here. Malcolm's up, everybody else down.
Up and put a fucking brave face on. It kills him every day inside. That's the reality. He's in love with you. And you've been fucking where with fucking who? I can't afford a jet.
You been where? With who? Nobody wants that.
Oh, schmo. Okay. That fucking breaks their hearts.
Do you think that hoes can ever be turned into housewives?
Okay, I'll answer that question. And the answer is actually, truthfully, yes. Which I know a lot of people are confused by. They can. If you're a good enough, high enough level man, you absolutely can turn a hoe into a housewife.
Yeah, no, of course. I mean, the thing is, here's the dilemma with turning a hoe into a housewife. Yeah, you can turn a hoe into a housewife if you got your shit together as a man. And there are going to be some issues, and you never want to get on documents with that woman. And you want to make sure that you're not in a common law marriage or a common law state where you're pretty much seen by the court as married to a woman if you live with her for a long enough period. And I don't even know why that means anything, because you could live with a roommate for 10 years and they ain't gonna think you married, but I thought we pushing LGBT, right? Interesting. So with that being said, you got to make sure your situation is right. But yeah, you can turn a hoe into a housewife technically, like physically make her be a housewife. But at the end of the day, she's going to scurry off and do hoish things. And she's going to turn back to her hoish ways. And most of them are. It's going to be hard for them not to. So, and then the question becomes, okay, if I'm this high status guy who's making this money and I'm good, I'm really good, then why the hell wouldn't I just get a younger, hotter woman? And that's the issue. Whoever you are on TikTok trying to join the live, yeah, you're going to have to join the YouTube live. So go to my YouTube channel, because we're not joining people on TikTok. But if you want to come to the YouTube, the link is in the description.
But why the fuck would you? Because you don't have to. A man like me, I could, but I'm not low on options, so I would never decide to do that. If you're a billionaire, could you you can find an old rusty car and rebuild it, or you can just buy a new one. Right?
Yep.
So it's not about what could be done.
Good point.
It's about what will be done.
Yep.
So once women hit a certain status of
thy will be done. Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. And guess what? Man, it is a spitting image of God. Man is a spitting image of God. Man, and women keep saying, "Oh, we don't need men. We don't need men." Ma'am, can you pass down a Y chromosome? No, you can't. No, you can't.
the man, I don't think women are stupid. I actually argue the fact that women have a beautiful intuition. I think that women, to a degree, their intuition is truly almost psychic. The number of times I've come home and she's like, "You were cheating." And I was like, how the fuck did she know I was fucking cheating? You know what I mean?
Brittany Renner don't like that shit. But Brittany, damn. And you know what? I do feel bad for Brittany in a way, not in the sense of giving her sympathy or giving her leeway or anything like that. But I'm just like, I know that she is punching air because she knows she should have stayed. What PJ's doing with this bitch that he just got now, he's a stepdaddy. He's playing big stepdaddy. And then he just impregnated her and he's going to be responsible for taking care of the other man's children. Dude, bad deal. PJ Washington is just, I don't know what's wrong with him, man. His daddy must not have sat him down and had the birds and the bees talk with him because he's getting all these bees and they done lost their stinger already.
Intuition and it's real. You guys are smart, right? And if they get to a certain echelon of man,
God damn, look at Denelva's forehead. That motherfucker is projecting. That shit is superimposing itself into Andrew's neck. Jesus Christ. And like, you know, with a cranium like that, she's kind of got like a Neanderthal type cranium. Shout out to my guy AlphaZo. He says Brittany don't like cheating, but she admitted in front of the world that she has smashed 3 guys in one day. Exactly. She smashed 3 guys in one day, and she admitted to cheating on her ex as well. I don't think a lot of niggas remember that one, but she did admit to cheating on her ex. She's cheated before on a man. So, you know, she's just getting what she deserves. She's reaping what she sows. Shout out to House of Lamar. He says she has a self-inflicted forehead or self-inflected forehead.
They're not going to go anywhere because there's nowhere else to go. They're going to get to a guy eventually. They're going to stop at the buck and go, you know what? Where am I going to surpass this specimen?
Right.
So I'm just going to behave for him. So you could turn her into a housewife that way. But why would a man at that level want to do that?
Exactly.
Why do some guys at certain, and this is obviously a celebrity example, but I'm sure we can all think of examples in like day-to-day life where a guy with a lot of options does pick a hoe and like wife her, like for example, Kim and Kanye?
Because Kanye has mental issues. Pearl, I get what Pearl's saying, but for one, as Kevin Samuel says, we don't consider entertainers and athletes, quote unquote, high value men. Okay. Even though they have a lot of money, they're not considered high value men. When we talk about high value men, we're talking about business class high value men, guys who own businesses, guys who create businesses, guys who employ people, NFL players and rappers and all that stuff. They are employees. The rapper is an employee to the record label. The NFL players are the employees to the NFL. The NBA players are employees to the NBA. They damn well paid. They're well paid, but they're still employees at the end of the day, respectfully. And I love my athletes. You already know. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. They don't have autonomy. They can't get on a podcast and say whatever the fuck they want to say without losing their damn contracts. And if you don't believe me, ask Kyrie Irving. Okay, so they are employees. So when it comes to Kanye West, yes, he was a billionaire. He's a multimillionaire. And yes, he did wife up a slur, a known Tatiana. And that was partly for status as well. That was to be, you know, she was considered at one point the baddest bitch in the game. So he got her and he wifed her. Now, I think it would have been doper if he would have just got her. I like the way that, well, I'm not going to say that I like the way that Future does it because his issue is he has too many baby mamas. He's impregnating a lot of these women. But if he was not impregnating the women, then the way that he does it is probably the best way. because he's pretty much, non-committal. And then I broke down how a lot of the guys in the industry are using baby fever gang, because I know women who have smashed Future, and he like literally promises them the world for real. Like, oh, I'm a make you a mother. I'm a, whatever. We gonna start a family. He uses baby fever game, and I think that might actually be popular in the industry, in the music industry, especially. He's one, and in the sports athletics industry, they use baby fever game as well, just by virtue of their physical athleticism and their genetics. A lot of women want to have their kids just because they know that these are the most physically, genetically gifted men on the planet. But when it comes to Kanye with Kim Kardashian, for one, Kanye did have some issues mentally, okay? And I'm not saying that he's short bus shawty, but he is extremely immature. And he even said it himself. He stopped maturing once he signed a record deal. He's not a he's not a regular guy. You see what I'm saying? And the reason why he cuffed Kim Kardashian is because of lust. And there was status to it. There was a certain status to it for sure, because you can get benefits. Like look at all the, Tristan Thompson, nobody would talk about Tristan Thompson if he wasn't fucking a Kardashian. You see what I'm saying? And I'm not saying Tristan Thompson isn't a good basketball player, but he's not the best. He's not the greatest. He's not a fucking all-star, right? So, and the only way that he was an all-star is if he's playing beside LeBron. So Tristan Thompson is not a guy who's just like, supreme into his craft and trying to get better every single day. No, he's genetically gifted, and he uses basketball to impose his will and bend matter in his way. And he uses it to get as many women as he can. And he uses it. And he used Khloe Kardashian to get even more women, because now women are saying, oh my God, a Kardashian wants him. Dude, he must be top level. See, Chris Humphries, dude, he's still eating to this day because he was married to Kim Kardashian. Reggie Bush, he got a bitch now that looked just like Kim Kardashian. If he wanted to, he could have kept fucking girls who look just like Kim Kardashian. So all these guys who end up dating and smashing Kim Kardashian, Ray J, Ray J's not particularly hot in any sense of the word musically right now, but his name's going to be brought up all the time because he hit it first. So there is a certain type of status when it comes to smashing Kim Kardashian. Pete Davidson, okay? Pete Davidson is actually getting a lot of tail. Now every woman wants to fuck Pete Davidson because Kim Kardashian said, oh, well, I heard about his dick. So there is some status into dating a Kim Kardashian. And when Kanye divorced Kim Kardashian, he actually dated a woman who looked just like her. So that helped him be more attractive to women who resemble her as well, which I would argue the women who resemble her, naturally on IG and shit are doing the best when it comes to their numbers, their following, their engagement and whatnot. House of Lamar says Kanye is an anomaly. Yes. Alphazo says girls cheat more than men, but when it's against them, they have a problem with it. Facts. Alphazo says athletes and entertainers aren't considered high value men. It took me a few years to understand this concept. They are also mega simps. Yes, they are. Alphazo says have a baby by me, baby, be a millionaire. Yeah. And there are some rappers who do become high value men. I think 50 Cent, shout out to Alphazo for mentioning that song. I think 50 Cent actually has become a high value man because what did he do? He got into film. He got into another industry that was respected. Okay. Because let's keep it a buck. Yes, people love listening to rap music, but nobody really respects rappers. Like on an intellectual level, nobody really respects rappers. Okay. They don't respect them. Nobody really respects athletes on the intellectual level either. That's why shut up and dribble is a thing. That's why people are in my comments saying, oh, well, you're just a dumb jock. You're just a dumb athlete. So people respect bosses. People respect people who are their own boss, who don't have employees, okay, who don't have to report to practice every day, who have businesses that, you know, rely on software and tech, and that those are the type of people, you know, who can bring different minds in a room together. You know, those are the type of people that are high value men. Like Pearl's father, I don't know exactly what he does, but I think he owns some tech software company, something like that. He's a high value man because he did a profession that is respected, okay? Like a guy who owns a plumbing business or a guy who owns a moving company. That's a guy who went from blue collar, went from being a Malcolm, a mildly attractive, lucrative, communicative, operational, likable man, or he could have been a medium, ugly, lucrative, communicative, operational, likable man. And he, you know, ascended to being a high value man because he built the skills that he learned being a blue collar man, and then subsidized and what's the word that I'm looking for? And scaled it. All right. So that blue collar man becomes a boss because he quits his blue collar job and starts his own business, which when you are in blue collar, it's easy because you have so many networks of people who do the same type of work as you. So that's why it's so easy to get into plumbing for 2, 3, 4, 5 years and then start your own business, because now during that time you done met like 30 different plumbers. So now you're a high value man because you have a network of plumbers who will come on call. Like, and this is why this is why real estate is really important, because now when you own real estate, you have maintenance and you have a network of people who do jobs that are essential to the functionality of our society today. So, I mean, I told you guys this story on my other channel. I had a pipe burst in one of my houses on Christmas Day. And because I have a network of people who do maintenance and people who do plumbing and people who you know, do electrical work and people who do drywall work and people who do woodwork, craftsmen, what's the word that I'm looking? Architects. I have a network of these people. I was able to get somebody to pull up on Christmas Day and help me out with my plumbing issue. So this is what makes you a high value man, having that network. And like I said, athletes can become high value men. Okay. Look at Shaquille O'Neal. He was an athlete and he wasn't a high value man until he started getting into business. He started getting into owning shares in Papa John's. He started getting into Bengay and doing Bengay commercials, then owning stake in Bengay. He was not a high value man until he created that network of influential people that could help him, push him, move him, and ascend him to the place that he wanted to be. Also, he joined the Freemasons and connected himself with an even larger network of high value men, because we all know that, you know, these high degree Freemasons have a network of high value men around them because it is a open secret society. So that is what Shaquille O'Neal did in order to ascend to becoming a high value man. Okay. Look at Dr. Dre. Yes, he was a rapper. Yes, he is a music producer. He is a rapper. But at the same time, when he bought into Beats and then sold it to Apple, he became that's when he really became a high value man. Yes. And when he became an executive, once he started signing artists, that's when he became a high value man. But now, because he is behind, you know, selling beats to Apple, that's when he even more, it's more accentuated that he is a high value man because of that. So you can be an athlete and ascend to becoming a high value man. You can be a rapper and ascend to becoming a high value man. Look at Exhibit. Exhibit has invested into Silicon Valley. Nas has invested into Silicon Valley. And a lot of these guys have made money off of Bitcoin and all that kind of stuff, which makes them become high value men. Jay-Z, even though, you know, I am a fan of his music. Well, I'm not a fan of anybody, but I do like his music. I love his music. But I don't agree with every move that he makes. But he has become a high value man by getting involved in the NFL and being on the board of the NFL's music production and all that kind of stuff, and involving himself in Beyonce's career and managing artists and creating Rockefeller and all these different things made Jay-Z a high value man because he started building a network. When he was just rapping and dressing like a fucking hoodlum from the street, he was not high value. And that is what I kind of want to you know, have Pearl understand with her line of questioning.
Because Kanye clearly has options,
She
right?
did not want to be a housewife.
No,
She was a project.
Okay, I understand. I'm just asking because some guys do pick.
Yeah, they do, and it's a really good point. And I have nothing bad to say about Kanye. In fact, I think a lot of the work he's doing now in terms of attacking the Matrix is important. But I can give you a generalized answer. But it's a man who is not true to his masculine imperative, which is going to fall for the propaganda machine, which is being purported upon him, who's going to believe that all the crap that is being told by society, like a female's past doesn't matter and all this shit doesn't matter. This is what's interesting in the fight against the Matrix, because people always say to me, Andrew, why do you come here and say all these things? They're literally trying to destroy your life for what you say. And the truth is, as a man, you have two choices. You either fight against the programming and the brainwashing they're trying to put inside of all of our minds, or you end up fighting against yourself. If you're a man and you sit down and you believe the garbage that society is telling you about how society functions between men and women, you're going to end up getting fucking wrecked like these dudes do. They sit there and go, just because she's fucked everyone doesn't mean she'll do it again. Just because, and they sit there like dummies and they get fucking wrecked, right? You have to sit there as a man and go, no, I don't give a shit.
Brittany Renner is scoffing at that one. She's trying to keep it in, but that one hit her. Just because she's fucked everyone else doesn't mean she's doing it. Brittany, you haven't slowed down. How long have you really been celibate? The fact that you had sex with somebody after PJ Washington is telling. That's telling. That's an issue because now you're a single mother. Why are you having sex, gallivanting with Kevin Gates when you have a son at home, bro? Bet she left him with her mama to go out and have fun with Kevin Gates. Dude, it's disgusting.
Society's telling me. I understand something baseline about humanity, right? And that's why they make these poor choices. And a lot of men do make these poor choices, but it's only in the West. It's only in the West where this propaganda machine exists. You will not find a Russian billionaire doing this dumb shit. You will not find a Chinese billionaire doing this dumb shit. You will not go to Saudi and find a sheikh doing this dumb shit. None of it.
And that's why rappers and athletes cannot be high value men. Women view them as high value men, and that's why they get shitty results. That's why, okay? Because these men cannot be considered high value men, okay? Even certain entertainers, like if they don't have a level of maturity to them, and if they're not a boss, meaning they have employees, because that's the only thing that makes you a boss, okay, then you're not a high value man. So that's why you see a lot of these athletes making these mistakes because, and we're just going to keep it a buck. A lot of times, especially if you're a good athlete, you have people kissing your ass your whole life. And then, it definitely stifles your maturity if you allow it to. And that just comes down to the parenting behind that child. So it really just comes down to their parents. But ultimately, and that's why Kevin Samuel said that, hey, rappers and athletes and entertainers, they can't be considered high value men. Unless they get into business and become a boss who employs people.
Let me find it in the West.
Do you think the values of the West are spreading?
What values?
So
name a value. Of the West.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, I might have misspoke. I mean, like the ideas of the West. Like I've just gotten.
Oh yeah, they are spreading. Okay. And a lot of people talk about Brazil, and yes, Brazil is good right now because they're having a huge a feminist movement on steroids. What happened in the 70s in the US is happening now in Brazil. So yes, there was free 70s, I'll say late 70s and the 80s, where sex started to become more of a thing that women would be giving out. That's happening in Brazil now. So now they're on the stage of feminism where it doesn't matter who I fuck. I'm going to fuck whoever I want and da-da-da-da. That's the stage Brazil is on now. So it's going to be a lot of easy sex in Brazil, but then later on, it's going to turn to, okay, now the women are only going to fuck, 10 guys in the city. And these 10 guys have to have a blue check marks or 6 figures or something like that. He has to be top dog in their city. So that's where Brazil is headed.
Like I get messages from people like from all over, and like in places like India, I've heard feminism is spreading there. Like I've heard that. Do you not find that to be true?
So firstly, the West has no value. The only thing the West seems to defend fervently is LGBT. I'm not saying anything about it. I'm not. I'm just saying it's the only thing that they'll stand up and fight for. I don't know why.
That's true.
It's weird. Like this, they don't care about anything else. They don't care about children going without child support. They don't care about people dying in wars.
They don't care about children getting taken to islands and being molested.
They don't care about our parents being in parent homes. They don't care about crime. They don't care about no one being able to pay their energy bills. They don't care about nothing, but they give a shit.
They don't care about young black men shooting random people in the streets
for some reason about this one thing, and they'll fucking throw the flag all around the world.
Surrounded around sex.
That's all they care about. It's fucking strange. So that's the first thing about the values of the West. Second thing, the harder society and the harder the life is as a whole, the longer it's going to take for feminism to spread. Feminism only exists in a vacuum of an easy life.
Yeah.
If you're living in a society like India where life is hard.
Oh, yeah. Dude, if you're living in India, ain't no motherfucker. Like, dude, a lot of and some of those women are coming from abusive homes, but then some of them are just coming from a rich but strict father. I dated this Indian woman. She came from a rich, strict father. And, you know, now she's a bottle girl. So it definitely has an effect on him. But if he would have kept her ass in India, I guarantee she would not be no damn bottle girl.
Feminism disappears because the harder life is, the closer people naturally revert to their gender roles. If you got a bunch of 10 men, 10 women, stranded them on a desert island, and they had to survive, very quickly the men would do men shit and the women would do women shit. There'd be very little talk about feminism and equality, and all this shit would fucking vanish when shit hits the fan, right? So in countries where life is harder, feminism can't take hold because feminism can only exist in a vacuum of a very privileged life.
True.
I'm sure there's some kid in India who didn't get laid off some chick and he's complaining she's a feminist. There's a bunch of dumb shit, right? But I think the world is going to get a lot harder. I think the world is cyclical. I think it's been easy for a while. I think hard times are coming.
But the good thing about India is, shit, if you've got your father and your mother in your life, you can just ask them, hey, Dad, I'm ready to find a wife. And they'll literally find you a wife. That's, you know what I'm saying? That's why you got to fuck with traditionalism, because they're going to go out and seek a wife that will be worthy. And they're going to make sure that she has her hymen intact.
When hard times come, people are going to naturally revert to what gives them the highest chance of survival, which is gender roles, right? I have the best chance of survival being a man, and a woman has the best chance of survival being my woman. That's how she's going to function.
Do you think women typically are happier as housewives rather than a career?
Well,
depends on the career.
No,
depends on the man.
The answer is absolutely and utterly yes, because giving life is the most beautiful thing a female can do. That's what you've evolved to do. That's the thing that men cannot do. I think that women who focus on having children and do their best to be good mothers in the end are the happiest females on the planet.
Being a mother, being a housewife is kind of different though.
Okay.
Okay, so you can be a single mother. You can be a single mother, yes. And you can also be a housewife where you have a child. Like, why is she trying to break down the semantics of this shit? Like, dude, you know what the fuck he means. A woman who is married, a woman who is kept and stays at home and takes care of children.
Okay, no, but it's essentially the same thing. If you're a housewife long enough, I'm going to assume you're going to end up having children. And I think that the sooner a woman has children, the better. If she can find a good man and have a child, that's a fantastic thing. I think it's a beautiful thing. And I don't see the point in a woman slaving away for a corporation that doesn't care about her as opposed to slaving away for her own flesh and blood.
Exactly.
I think that's a complete waste of a life. I think if men are already doing that, why would you want to go along and do that as well?
Because a career is not just slaving away for a corporation. A career can involve a million different things.
Well, that's exactly what a career is. It's slaving away for a corporation that doesn't care about you. And I understand you have to pay the bills, and I understand you don't want to be completely sufficient. You want to be self-sufficient. You don't want to be dependent on a man. I understand.
So shout out to Wolf in Sheep's Clothing. He said, this is off topic. But I love your red vitamin content, and I'm with it because I see everything happening. But when it comes to politics, Democrats are winning all of the way statistically. Winning as in like the numbers, poll numbers. Yeah, I mean, I agree. They have control. At the end of the day, there will never be Republican control of this country ever again. The left has won. It's over. Too many people are super left, and they've lost traditional liberalism, because liberalism is really rooted in freedom, but it's gone super hard left and it's never coming back. Republicans lost. There is no such thing as a Republican Party anymore. It is what it is. That's what I truly believe in. Okay, so
stand on that. But in an idealistic scenario, in the vacuum of ideology, if you could sit and be a woman and focus on having children or focus on doing a job, I think on a long enough time scale, you're going to be much happier with your progeny as opposed to working a job.
Can I ask you a question? Because I feel like we talk a lot about hoes. We talk about a lot of the extreme. There's a lot of gray matter in the middle.
Sure.
Where a lot of women kind of get lost.
Yep.
For example, I think that one of the issues sometimes that I hear a lot about, and I personally may say I feel it sometimes, is that when you're also a quite educated woman, intellectual, intelligent, whatever, smart, a lot of the time, naturally, you speak in a way that stands out from other people, right?
As long as you don't get disrespectful, dudes do not care, bro. As long as you don't get disrespectful.
And I find that a lot of the time, that kind of intimidates some of the men there, where they start thinking this girl is a bit too much.
No, see, this is what it is. And I know what she's talking about. These quote unquote intellectual women who really aren't intellectual. They don't know shit. They just regurgitate what they heard in class. Dude, I was on a date a while back, man. I was on a date with this, Hispanic girl who she was like a foreign exchange vet student, but she spoke perfect English, didn't really have a crazy accent. I went on a like dog park date with her where we walked our dogs and talked and all this shit. And safe to say that like she literally thought that she knew every single thing about dogs. And I'm telling her, I'm like, yes, you can use coconut oil on dogs and da 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 da. And then she's like, no, you can't. Da, 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 da. I'm like, bitch, okay, you're not even a vet. You've been in vet school for like 6 months and you think you are just, the last thing said on vet shit. And I'm not even claiming that I know all the shit about, what vets have to do and whatnot, but I literally just said something that was kind of basic. You could pretty much put coconut oil on anybody and it's gonna help the dog's coat and it's gonna make your skin stay shiny and healthy and moisturized. But she was just going back and forth and trying to act like she was just like super smart. And I'm just like, man, you can have it. Like, I'm not even going to go back and forth. I know this to be true. So it is what it is. Wolf in Sheep's Clothing said, I meant they are the better party. I'm not super left or a liberal. I'm a centrist left leaning, but Republicans as a party are homophobic and racist. He said, I spelled them like that on purpose. I mean, I think you're overgeneralizing it. Just like there are people who are super hard left. There are people who are super hard right on the right. And I think they're centrist in both parties. And I think the polarity just kind of creates division when you try and, pit these two parties together or against each other. So, I mean, it is what it is. The founding fathers wouldn't have wanted political parties in the first place. So honestly, at this point, I really don't care. I'm just going to make sure I get my bag up so I can, have my properties and have them making passive income and eventually leave the States.
Now, it is not my fault that I'm smart. It's not my fault that I can put one and one together very nicely, very quickly. What kind of man is going to be able to handle that?
Give me a minute.
This woman laughs like I don't speak for language and got 3 degrees. Now I thought.
What is she trying to say? You're not smart.
It's okay. I speak how I do for a reason. So please, sir, can you help me out? I'm trying to find a husband, the kind of beast that can handle a woman like me.
I mean, it's damn near too late, honestly. Like you had better. We went back and looked at Denelva's IG. She had a way better chance in the past. Now it's almost like her head has gotten even more protruded.
Well, this is another point, right? And I'm only answering generally, right? Because this is the first time I've met all of you ladies. You've all been very polite to me. You've all been very nice. I'm just talking generally. And I'm going to answer it based on your last sentence. Your last sentence was handle a woman like me.
Mm-hmm.
Let's look at the average man's life.
Here we go. So Wolf in Sheep's Clothing says, I'm not talking about the people I said as a party. They are those things. The bills that they pass are pretty disgusting. So I'm going to tell you right now, the left be passing some disgusting bills too, like this the bill that was passed in Illinois that was passed. The basically what is it, the Safety Act or whatnot, that was passed by a leftist governor, and it makes it so that people don't have to put up cash for certain crimes when it comes to getting bailed out. So you've got stories that I've covered on Black Gen Z Mindset in Illinois where there was somebody who was charged with murder, let out, and then he murders again. And you're talking about, oh, discussing bills against LGBT. But yeah, I would, I mean, if you wanted me to, vote on passing a bill about LGBT, not being able to butt fuck every now and then in public or some shit, I would much rather pass that than a bill that is going to allow seasoned murderers back onto the street. So
we just discussed earlier how difficult it is, how competitive he has to be, and how many problems he has to fix. Do you think he wants to handle any woman?
Okay, so
do you like the idea of any degree of problem? It's the straw that breaks the camel's back. Like the point of having a woman as a man, for me at least, is for her to be my peace and quiet. My life is stress.
Yeah.
You see me, I'm rolling around with fucking security teams and I got problems and they're after me. And when I come home to my chick, the last thing I want to do is have to handle anything. I want her to just sit the fuck down.
True.
And make me happy.
And Denelva or Brittany don't understand that. They the types of chicks who bring in arguments once you walk in the door. They the type to continue an argument that y'all were having when he left once you walk in the door. Those are the type of women that Denelva and Brittany and the Esther are.
She used to be my positive energy. She used to be my sunshine in the rainstorm.
Okay.
So you're talking about him handle you. I don't know. I can't answer the question exactly. But if you're sitting there constantly arguing over small points or correcting him, he's probably thinking, this is about, I don't have the energy for another fight.
Yeah.
Okay, so now let me add extra context to what I mean as well. So obviously submission is something that people talk about a lot. Yeah. For me, I'm a logical person, I believe, and I submit with logic. I don't submit by default because there's a
niggas don't want to have to explain shit to you, Denelva. That's your problem. I don't have, if I am more competent, if I'm a millionaire, I ain't explaining shit to you. I say it, it goes. Whatever I say goes. You do what the fuck I tell you to do. Point blank, period, end of discussion.
Level of respect that I believe I need to have to be able to submit. Obviously, it's not that I go around and I disrespect all men and everything, but I find that my level of thought process, a lot of the times,
it makes it hard. No. So I know what you're trying to say.
Yeah, thank you.
You know, but you need to find a man you truly respect to submit to him. Yeah. And I completely respect that. And that's the same with 99% of women. Like you're never going to submit to a man you don't respect. And respect is ultimately important because you're not going to sleep with a man you don't respect. You're not going to be attracted to a man you don't respect. Respect is the bottom line of it. And the man has a job to do. He has a duty to do to be worthy of respect. But this all goes back into a very interesting point. Some of the points I've kind of mentioned earlier. If I was a woman, if I was a chick, the chance of me ending up in a relationship with a man I don't respect is 0%. Right. I don't understand how you girls end up. Well, I do understand how you girls end up here. You end up here because of feminism, promiscuity, promises that running around taking dick is fine, dumb shit, stupid decisions. I'm independent, so it doesn't matter that he's a dummy. Bunch of garbage. When you should be waking up going, you know what? I'm going to be extremely selective. And I'm going to take my time and be very, very smart because you're the gatekeeper. By the time you're in a relationship with somebody, you should have immense respect for that man. Absolute immense respect. You shouldn't be able to get there any other way. The only reason you got there is because you've been tricked by society and lied to and told a bunch of fucking bullshit.
True.
So you're talking about submission and respect. Yeah, it'll come when you meet the right man, naturally. And this is another point I make because I have a lot of men message me. I trust guys. Please understand, the most Googled man on the planet. I have 100,000 emails a day from people. And I get dudes email me, how do I get my woman to submit? And I can't reply to all the emails, but if I ever read them, I'm like, bro, you're a fucking dork. Why would she reply to you? Why would she submit to you? You're a fucking nerd. That's the truth.
Yeah.
I'm not out here saying submit.
And yes, a lot of these guys got issues, but at the end of the day, we all know that even when the women come across competent men, they're not submitting. Okay? That's just a reality.
Oh man, men are the boss. I'm saying, listen, there's natural balance in the universe. When you meet a G, I've never had trouble with a woman obeying me. She just wants to. It's natural for our dynamic. If she didn't want to obey me, we wouldn't even get to the point of a relationship. If she didn't feel like she wanted to listen to me, we would have never got to where we want to get. It just doesn't work. That shit only happens when the female's fucking giving up sex too easy. The dude's just picking up easy pussy and they end up in some bullshit relationship. They don't even like each other. That's dumb shit. That's dumb shit, right? But I don't have any of these.
Brittany and Kevin Gates, Brittany and Lil Uzi. I mean, see, we could go on and on with Brittany. It's unfortunate. She definitely threw away her best years for sure.
Problems in my life. And if you're a dude at home and you're watching this and you go, I want my woman to submit, and she doesn't, guess what? She doesn't respect you. And guess whose fault that is a lot of the time? Your fault.
Okay, so wolf in sheep's clothing. I'm good with answering your questions, but I'm pretty much done with the political stuff. If we want to talk politics, we can do that on Black Gen Z Mindset. But I will answer your relationship questions that you put in the chat. Shout out to Why Not. He says, big up my brother. He said, these manufacturer bitches. Yeah. Wolf in Sheep's Clothing says, well, I don't know. Look at Meg Thee Stallion about look at Meg talking about she would never submit to a man, but she was submitting to Party because Party is a strong masculine man. Party is an alpha simp, which I've already covered before on my channel. Party is, yes, he is strong. He's a big masculine man, but he is an alpha simp. He does not have red vitamin game. He is blue vitamin. And Meg Thee Stallion did not submit to Party because, for one, she did submit in a physical way, but she didn't submit her mind, body, and soul to Party. And let me tell you why. For one, she lied to him. She told him that she didn't have intercourse with Tory Lanez or Ben Simmons or all these other guys that Meg smashed pretty much everybody in the industry. So a woman who submits to you is not going to lie to you and use deceptive tactics in order to, dissuade you or persuade you in a way. Okay, that's the reality of the situation. So she lied to him, which means that she did not submit to him. And I wouldn't be surprised if he ends that relationship once all of this blows over. Okay, but she lied to him. She lied to him. And that is a deal breaker. If I ask you verbatim, hey, did you sleep with this person? Did you sleep with that person? Okay. And she says no. And I find out she actually did. Yeah, you're done. You are done. So the thing is, look, man, Party, I like Party. I really do. And he's actually writing music for all of the top female rappers. Cardi B, he'll soon to be writing for Glorilla as well, because she's turned out to be a dumbass. Okay. He's writing for Lotto as well. Writes for Meg, obviously. So this guy Party, he is a lyricist. He's a songwriter. He's in the music industry. Super smart, super talented. But at the end of the day, he is an alpha simp. So
it's your fault as a man.
Yes,
it is.
Yes.
No, it is.
Yes.
No.
That's what you guys need to damn here. Tell him.
But it's not about blaming men and women, because everyone has a problem. But then there's also men who are worthy of respect who women refuse to respect because of society.
Tell the sisters
so there's
too.
There's two.
Yeah, that's what I said. There's plenty of competent men that women refuse to respect and show respect to because they just want to be combative and, oh, well, a man is always wrong, and because that's what they've been marketed. But the reality is men are way more right than women are. I mean, that's just the reality. Okay.
Two sides to it, right?
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of it is, if you're a capable enough man and you're brilliant enough, then the female has no choice.
No, not Party Next Door, Party Fontaine. Look him up, Party Fontaine.
But it's very interesting. This goes back into a point I made earlier about how important it is for us men to find women who we don't believe have had a lot of life experience and look like they are. Because I got attacked. I'm going to make this point right now. I got attacked when the Matrix attacked me and fucking lied about me.
And it wasn't just the Matrix. It was women as well.
They said that men are interested in women who are younger because they're more programmable, and that they're trying to make out that I'm making out that men are out here trying to get women and fucking do bad things to them. No, what I'm saying is, if you find a woman who's younger and been through less things, less trauma, less relationships, less headache, she's lived less life, your ideals, if you ask any woman who loves her man, what's your favorite song? His favorite song. Who do you vote for? Who he votes for. What's your favorite car? His car. That's how it happens when a woman loves a man. And that makes the man feel good, right? If she's been through too much shit, then that's a lot harder to pull off. So that link is very important for men and women. But so yeah, the Matrix attacked me with that. But it's very, very interesting. You have to understand all these small sub dynamics and why things are happening and why the world is the way it is. And the baseline of it is that everything's fucked. Men aren't acting like men, and women are acting like women, and it's all messed up.
Men are still acting like men. Men are still doing manly jobs. Men are still plumbers. Men are still electricians. Men are still connecting gas lines. Men are still owning and buying real estate. Women are too, but a lot of times they're not doing the work themselves. Men are still doing these dirty jobs. So I really don't understand why people keep saying, oh, well, the men aren't men. Yeah, you've got like 10 pussies who are, yeah, there's some like really pussy men, but the reality is that men are still doing these hard ass fucking jobs. Okay. Otherwise, the society, the fucking power grid would shut down overnight. Okay. Cash God said, my guy, Gen Z, I tagged you in a Soy Boys post on TikTok. Did you see it yesterday? I saw it, but you know, once I heard his voice, I'm just like, I'm not really trying to watch this shit. Wolf in Sheep's Clothing says, women trauma dump on the good men. That's absolutely 100% true. The women absolutely trauma dump on the good men. Distant Light says, unrelated, but Party Next Door is a legend for sure. Made his millions, did some ghostwriting, chilling. I don't know about a legend, but he definitely is a talented musician. Legend is a stretch, okay? Wolf in Sheep's Clothing says, women have the upper hand in corporate America as well due to being women, let alone if they're attractive. Facts. Why not? Says, did you see the realtor from Atlanta? LOL. What a cunt she was. Oh, yeah, the one who spazzed on that hairstylist. Yeah, she was a fucking bitch. She was a bitch. And she was not married, obviously, and she was an employee.
Oh, yeah.
Wait, so what about like your own autonomy and like just like you can, your favorite car is your favorite car, my favorite car is my favorite car. Like, why does it have to?
Okay,
I guess that's where I'm confused. Like, why?
Like, this is what she's saying. Like, you're trying to make it super extreme. Like, why can't I like my own car? Bitch, yes, you can. But at least give the man the satisfaction and say, your car, daddy. It's that simple. It's that fucking simple. Why are you trying to make it complicated?
Yeah, why does it have to be like that?
Yeah, and that's a good point, right? I understand that completely. But I'll give you an example. I'll talk from personal experience because it makes it easy for me. I have a bunch of cars. I love cars. I have 32 cars. My favorite car is X. I pick up a chick. This is my, what's your favorite car? This one. I like that one. I'm like, all right, cool, whatever. No big deal. But the agreeableness is ultra attractive. It depends what the woman wants to do, right? If I was a woman and let's say I'm 22 years old and I meet a billionaire and it's my goal to marry this man and I go to his house and I say, wow, you have so many cars. What's your favorite car? This one. Really? I thought that one too. It looks so good. Why that one? Because this. Oh, really? Okay, I'll try and remember that. That's how you get the dude, right? You don't get the dude by going, well, that one's a better color. You're a dickhead. It's
exactly. It's that simple. It's that simple. If I ask you, what's your favorite car? Just say your car, daddy, even if you don't fucking believe it. I mean, just give the nigga the satisfaction. I mean, going out of your way to make the man feel special, just like you want the man to go out of his way and make you feel special. The thing is, men are mandated to make women feel special, you know, in order to even fuck. Even if the guy is treating them like shit, they feel special being connected to this guy because usually he's top 1% in some category. Maybe it may not be financial, but maybe it could be his looks. Wolf in Sheep's Clothing says women can sell homes way faster than men, not because they're better or anything, but because simps think they have a shot at effing her if they buy the home. That is true. Why not? Says, why disagree on something so minor if she a petrol head? No silencia jefa.
It may be small things. It may be tiny things, but men are ultra interested in things like agreeableness. So we're ultra interested in the idea of a woman absorbing our worldviews. We're ultra interested. We are. That's what we're looking for.
If that's taken away from the woman's identity.
What if you say
she doesn't like the car?
No.
A woman has no identity unless she's with a strong man. Let me say this shit again. And a lot of these single hoes will tell you that. They don't even know where they're going in life. They don't even know where they're going in life. And a lot of them say, oh, I don't even remember who I am. I'm trying to remember what I like after they get out of a relationship. I'm trying to remember what I like because you don't have no identity unless you're with a strong man. And that man crafts your identity. And making his life easier crafts your identity. That's why they say afterwards, well, I'm just trying to remember the things that I like doing. The man didn't stop doing the things that he liked doing except fucking bitches. Maybe.
So why should she agree to a car that she doesn't like?
She
Why
doesn't-
do you want to be with someone
she doesn't
that
have
doesn't
to
know
agree.
who they are?
She doesn't have to agree.
Can I say?
Wolf in Sheep's Clothing says, seen a bunch of snow bunnies lately on TikTok saying how they want a black guy. We up. Yeah, there's this sound where it's like and it goes like that. And like the white women are like, do you like black men? And it's like, and then it's like, and then she puts the caption, well, does your dad know or like the fact that you like black men? And then she's like, So it's definitely on the rise for sure. Cash God said YouTube doing some goofy-ish promoting ads of a white dude selling his fitness course on your videos. Yo, that's bullshit. Yeah, that's bullshit. That's bullshit, man. That is such BS, bro. It's crazy. And they'll sell these ads and then they won't give me my actual views. They won't give me my real views, bro. They won't give me my real views.
Oh,
I'm
I
telling
like
you what
this
the man
one.
wants.
This is my favorite, but I
it's
like
more
yours
like
too.
it's-
Yours is quite nice, you know. Actually, now that I'm looking at it, it's quite good. But I like this one, but I like that one as well.
You sound
Is that
like
fine?
you want a slave.
Is
Like
that
someone
fine?
that doesn't have their own
That's
mind.
just not going against.
You sound like you want to have a slave, dude. This is why sisters are taking the L. At least the light brights are trying to understand what's happening. This is why sisters are taking the L, bro.
But it's just being nice. It doesn't cost you much.
it's like
men,
you can say,
it's
"Oh,
like
baby."
men don't want a girl that's nagging on them for the smallest things. It's like, why are
Right.
you giving a guy a headache
No,
over a
that's not
car?
nagging. That's not
But
nagging.
obviously,
That's not
like,
nagging, though.
He's saying, "Oh, what car do you like?"
Uh-huh.
Why does she have to
I'm
say
talking-
his car?
guys,
Like she likes a
To make them feel good. Jesus Christ. Just like, you know, when you're fucking the girl and then, I don't know, what's some shit that the women like, what's some shit? Like when you smashing a girl and then he's like, "Oh, is this my pussy?" Yeah, it's not his pussy, it's her pussy. But if she says, "Yeah, it's your pussy," then it makes him feel good. Just say some shit to make the man feel good. That's literally all you're asking. And she's literally trying to argue this. This is why the sisters are losing, bro.
I
different
just
car.
gave you a solution, though.
I am talking about how, as a female, to be as attractive as possible to men. Now, I'm not saying you can't get a man.
Like these hoes are willing to get fucked by a man and say, "Yeah, this your pussy daddy, this your pussy daddy." But then I ask you, "Hey, you know, is my car your favorite type of car?" And then she said, "No, well, dude, come on, it's bullshit."
And if you say another car, I'm saying, how do you be as attractive as possible? Because
Be
you
nice
also
about it.
because you also don't understand how men think. It's different if you come to my house and choose to like another one of them.
Cash God says, when a girl has on her birthday makeup that looks terrible, I tell her it looks great for her satisfaction. Exactly. Do I look fat in this dress? No, you look great, honey. You know what I'm saying?
My cars. But what if I only have one car? And now you say, "Well, no, I pick you up in my BMW." Oh, yeah, it's nice. I prefer Mercedes. You know what a man thinks the second you say that? Who picked you up in a Merc?
Right. What a bitch. Oh, well, you have a BMW. I actually like Mercedes, dude. And it'll be girls who will shit test you on that shit. That's when you use them for sex. Like I went to the movie theater with this girl, right? And like she was like very choosy. She was very touchy-feely. She was obviously attracted to me. But she was like, "Well, I usually don't date guys who are 5'8". I usually date guys who are 6'8". Da 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 da. And I'm like, "Okay, word, boom boom bap." And then when I started fucking her, she was like, "Well, can you not go as hard?" I'm like, "Bro, I thought you was fucking 6'8" niggas. Ain't they supposed to have wrecked your shit out already?" But safe to say, I definitely used her for intercourse and didn't really look back. Okay.
That's the first thing that goes through his fucking mind. How do you know about Mercedes?
What
Who
if you,
put you in a
what if
fucking
you
Merc?
can buy your own Mercedes?
That's not what
What is
crosses the man's mind. I'm telling you how men think.
But then that's why, and that's why.
Denava,
Yes, sorry,
what percent of women can really afford their
Bro,
Mercedes?
yeah, especially when you got credit.
No, guys. I said a Mercedes.
You don't own your BMW. Oh, I bought my own car. I drive a BMW. The bank owns the title, honey. The bank owns the title. You do not own that car. You do not own that car. Okay. Unless she was like doing some OnlyFans or some shit like that and making big bucks, I guarantee she doesn't own that car. Yeah, you paying the note, you own the debt on that car, but you don't own that car, honey. I drive a BMW. I own that car. Yeah, I used to drive a BMW too. And guess what? I paid it off and I sold that motherfucker. You don't own that car, honey. Stop it.
I said, okay. I said, what percent of women?
I drive a BMW.
I said, okay,
Sorry,
okay.
guys,
I'm really happy for you. I'm really happy for you. I said, what the average woman makes
Sure.
$35,000.
Exactly. What color is your Bugatti, bitch? You're talking to fucking Tate.
Okay.
It's not that hard. Dude. And this bitch, she really is not really having shit. Like, the way she talking all cocky and shit, it's just like, bitch, you're ugly as fuck, dog. Like, nobody has the guts to just say, honey, you're a 3. Humble yourself. Humble yourself, baby, because it's wild that you really think, that you are a bad bitch. That's absolutely insane. It's insane, bro. It's crazy.
I'm really happy for you. I'm really happy for your car. But the average woman, I'm saying but the whole point is that what percent of women even earn that much? It's not a high percentage. So when a guy hears that when a guy hears that you've been in this car and that car and that car, his automatic assumption is that you're an average girl.
And that foolishness.
And that you've been with a bunch of guys to get to that point. I've had a lot of experiences because of my dad, because my dad's very successful. But I've been in situations where I've said, like, oh, I did this, and they think it's with a guy, but it's with my dad.
Facts.
Because most guys assume that you were an average person.
And I've been in this situation before where I was dating a girl who had hella money, and she talking about she been here, been there, and she 18 years old. I'm like, damn, like you hopped off the porch and went north. And then she's like, oh no, well, my dad's super rich, and I've actually never been on a date or never had a first kiss, and safe to say I took her V card.
I think that's demeaning a woman.
Can I just say
that she can't afford a lifestyle?
It's not demeaning a woman. It's looking at a balance of probabilities. If I meet an average guy, I assume he makes average money.
Like
I think it's just based on stop
dude, shut the fuck up, Danelva.
Balance of probabilities.
God damn.
Can I just say something? That is all about making a man feel like everybody says, oh, he's a top G. But it's like if your man put up a light fitting and you're standing and watching him put up the light fitting, or you, Danelva, they're watching a man put up a light fitting. What would you say while he's putting it up, and how would you react?
I'd be like, you're probably doing it wrong, but I'll let you finish and then.
Wow. See.
Right. All right then. But hang on a minute. And how would you act if your man was putting up a light fitting?
I'd be like, well, no, thank you, baby.
Okay. Well,
I'll be like, see, the thing is,
just answer the question. Answer the question.
Please,
what would you?
A man versus a woman putting up a light fixture, dude, it's not even close. Even if the man doesn't know how to put up the light fixture, like, come on. For one, to put up a light fixture, you got to get in the attic. So you're going to have to get in the attic, which women don't like going up in the attic, okay? Trust me. Trust me. Especially if your attic don't have stairs that come all the way down to the floor. She's not getting up there in that damn attic. Trust me. So to put up a light fixture, you're going to have to get up there in that attic, and you're going to have to turn the power off. A lot of chicks be doing shit, and then they're not even turning the power off. They're not even taking precautions to make themselves, be safe in that situation. I done seen chicks, changing their car on the shoulder of the road with their back face to the road. I mean, it gets bad when it comes to really technical things if you don't have that understanding of life and death, because most men, I don't give a fuck if you stayed inside for your whole life. Most men encounter a life and death situation, throughout their life, for sure. So when you understand your own mortality, when you're putting up that light fixture, you're going to be like, okay, I need a flashlight because I can't have the power on, because if I'm dealing with these electricals, I might get shocked. Or if I'm changing the light bulb, I want to turn the light off at least, because I'm dealing with electricals, I can get shocked. A lot of, and I'm not saying all, but a lot of women aren't going to have that pre-thought to make that move. So we're talking about putting up a light fixture, and it's a very simple, very easy thing to do. And obviously you heard Denelva's answer, and we're hearing Esther's answer as well. And it's just is really telling. Let's read some of these comments. Why not says, forget that fake Nigerian girl on Tate's right in gold. The whole of Nigeria has disowned her culturally. Nijai, TikTok, Insta went off on her. Cash God says, LMAO, I had a girl who tried to make a slight joke on my height too. I'm 5'10". I don't usually date men under 6 feet. Clapped her same night. Exactly. A lot of these women will say that, but then I'm just like, dude, figure out who the last 5 niggas she fucked, and I guarantee that she's not abiding by all these rules that she set. Cash God says, these women finance a $40,000 car on a $30,000 salary. Facts. Cash God said, with a 540 credit. Yes, sir. Why not says, if I have a BMW, she says, like Mercs, get out, walk, don't text, or don't vex me. Cash God says, BMWs tend to be for clout, especially among women. They always have something wrong with them. They really do. If you have a BMW, you're going to stay in the shop. At this point, I'm only buying American made, bruh. Distant Light says, always buy 4-year-old cars, certified pre-owned. If you're paranoid, they hold more value. Plus, there's more and more restrictive constraints in the tech for modern cars. Yeah, and also make sure that you get a warranty, preferably with CarShield. They're not paying me for this, but I would promote CarShield, a good warranty company. They're charging like $100 a month, and they're gonna put you in a rental when your car breaks down. I don't think there's a deductible at all, and they pretty much cover the whole car. Why not says killer. Cash God says, men buy a car that gets you from A to B, especially if you don't really have it like that. Don't go broke trying to impress a woman from the club. Exactly. Cash God says, women don't like doing anything that's scary. If we're equal, go clean the gutters, mow the lawn, weed eat. Yes. Also, kill that cockroach or that spider in the corner. Why not says, dusty, cramped cobwebs, the attic, most women's enemy. Yes. Cash God said, men think critically in real life situations. Cash God says, women pass a few college courses and think they're going to conquer the world with their intelligence. Right. And then they get slapped in the face and realize that everything that everybody says, oh, I'm making this much passive income a month and and I'm making so much money. Everything that where people are making that much money is hard as shit, unless you are on OnlyFans. Any other profession where you're making that type of money is hard and stressful as a motherfucker. And a lot of women just are not built to handle that. Knowledge is power says, a lot of women don't like cleaning, let alone anything else. Right. House of Lamar says, Toyota, #1 in reliability. Facts. Why not says, I'm 5'10". When you lying down, all the same height. True. Cash God said, facts. He also says, drove a 2010 Camry for years, never went to the shop for anything other than tires or an oil change. Yep. Wiz G said, apparently Tate just got raided in his villa in Romania. Wow.
You say if your man was putting up the light fitting, I'm just asking a question.
I would be like, thank you, babe. Thanks for putting up the light fitting. I appreciate you.
My man put up a light fitting. I was like, wow. He got it all out. It was all in boxes. He got his toolbox. It was up there on the ladder. Whatever you want me to hand you. I was like, oh my God, you're stripping wires.
Damn. So they did actually raid Andrew Tate. Wow. This is crazy. They're coming after him. Yep. This just happened an hour ago. Breaking news, guys. Breaking news. Wow. I mean, I hope that he's 100% clean with his shit. Because this is not good. They wanted him real bad. Andrew Tate reportedly arrested in Romania following police raid. Andrew Tate and his brother Tristan home was raided by Romanian authorities, specifically the Directorate for the Investigation of Organized Crime and Terrorism. On the morning of 29 December, reports Romanian media and the two have reportedly been taken into custody. A December 29th report initially from Romania outlet Libertatea claimed that Andrew Tate's home in Pipera had been raided by Romanian police in relation to the abduction of two girls. Now, Tate and his brother have both been taken into custody. The raid is to be carried out by DIICOT, the Directorate for Investigating Organized Crime and Terrorism in Bucharest. As the news broke, a clip emerged that showed Tate being led out of the villa in police custody, but no further context has been given at this time. Wow. The authorities have reportedly focused attention on a number of luxury vehicles at the residence. Reports that a police trailer is on site, possibly to uplift one or multiple vehicles. The same outlet also reports that the home of a former policewoman has been raided in connection to the investigation. Back in April 2022, Andrew Tate faced allegations of human trafficking in Romania, the country in which he resides. However, Tate stated that the issue arose from a swatting incident. I was not arrested. What happened is I suffered from a case of swatting. It's very popular with people who are large on the internet. Police turned up. They investigated. They realized nobody was in the house against their will. There was no crime committed. We had to go to the police station for 45 minutes for pieces of paper. We filled them in and we were let go. We will update this story as more details emerge. So let's watch this video. You're arresting them. I mean, they don't have him in handcuffs. They don't have him in handcuffs. Look, his hands are in his pockets. Why would his hands be in his pockets if he's being arrested? That makes no sense. He's a trained fighter. As you can see, his hands are in his pockets. If you guys can't see, we'll enlarge the frame. Hands are in his pockets. He's a trained fighter, and they're letting him walk with his hands in his pockets. That's got to be against protocol. Got to be against protocol. I don't know. Maybe this is just like some type of I don't know. Let's see. They say he's not being arrested. He's being questioned. Yeah. Let's see. Let's see what we'll read this one. Luxury villa of influencer Andrew Tate and his brother Tristan raided by Romanian police. A luxury villa belonging to the controversial influencer Andrew Tate and his brother Tristan was reportedly raided by armed police in Romania this morning, Thursday, December 29th. The raid was conducted by the Directorate for the Investigation of Organized Crime and Terrorism, according to Romanian media outlet G4 Media. Judicial sources informed the outlet that the two British brothers have been under investigation since the spring for the alleged kidnapping of two young women in their villa in the town of Voluntari in Muntenia. They are also suspected of forming an organized criminal group and grape, and the two have been picked up and taken to hearings at Tate, according to the cited sources. Romanian prosecutors allegedly suspect the creation of an organized criminal group with the explicit aim of recruiting and exploiting girls for the creation of pornographic clips. These would be intended for distribution for a fee on profile sites, especially OnlyFans, they claimed. But OnlyFans is legal. And how are they being exploited? And what's wrong with recruiting them into being a management company? Andrew and Tristan are accused of obtaining large sums of money with which they bought houses, luxury cars, and cryptocurrencies. The case against them started back in April when Tate investigated the case of a young American woman seized in Voluntari by the two British citizens. Now, this is some straight bullshit. Could they still be in the cam business, the webcam business? They were in the webcam business before, and you can say they were exploiting the women, But at the end of the day, none of them hoes have come forward and said that was happening. But hey, we'll see. We'll see. They'll say all Tate will do is sell up, buy a new house. Cash God said he's literally off all platforms. What more do they want? Why not says and hire some hired guns. Wow, a police raid. Thought it was random. Damn, that's messed up. Cash God said gonna have to show me proof that he abducted 2 girls. I don't believe it. Yeah, I don't believe that either. Zevo Genius says Andrew Tate being arrested shows the Matrix is trying to get rid of him. Influence is too strong, right? Why not says 3 Tate free all my guys. YVO Genius says they already did this in April and he was found not guilty, right? Cash God, well, he didn't even have charges pressed on him. Cash God says people will get someone's address and have them swatted by saying fake shit. Yeah. Zevo Genius says he's not being arrested. He's being questioned, right? Evil Genius says free Top G. Cash God says could have let him at least drive the Bugatti to the police station. Zevo Genius says, do you do open panel? Yeah, I do open panel, especially for my people who have disagreements. That's really what I'm looking for, but I do open the panel up as well. So we're gonna keep going with this breakdown. I'll open it up in a little bit.
Oh my God. Then he said, when it finished, I was like, it works. That's what he's talking about.
Yeah. I agree.
That is what he's talking about. When he's talking about the car, he's not saying you can get your own car. He's saying make the man feel like he's doing something, make him feel appreciated.
That's right.
Like act like a child.
No, I agree.
And that's what he's saying. He's not saying that, oh yeah, you don't like that car. It's like, my man got a car. It's like, oh my God, it's got heated seats. Oh,
that's the same way a girl likes to hear. You're the most beautiful girl in the world.
Exactly. I think it's got to be a balance, though. Like, yeah, I agree. I like to make my man feel good. When my man dresses up, I'm like, girl, you look so fine. Like, I like to make my man feel good, but he has to do that to me as well.
Listen, right?
He has to offer me that
I listen to Mr. Tate, right? Say about, let me put, for instance, there's an artist that I like. My man likes it too. COVID had just sort of like finished. I got 2 free tickets to go. My man said to me, you're not going. What would you do?
I'm going.
What would you do?
Why am I not going?
It doesn't matter. He said to you, you're not going.
Because that's just illogical submission.
I know.
Why tell me why I can't go?
Okay, no, but the whole point is you pick someone that you respect enough to trust his judgment, even when you disagree. That's the whole point.
I want to find
that I don't agree with. Because you're your own person. Just because you're in a relationship.
Guys, stop.
Can I ask you a question?
Wait. We need one at a time.
Why would you think it's something stupid or whatever? You trust the man enough to be with him. You trust the man enough to sleep with him. So why won't you trust his opinion? Why does he have to give that? If I say to my man, like I went in, if I say to my man, don't do this, the first thing is we're thinking, not she's telling me what to do. There must be a reason behind it why she's telling me not to do. Because she trusts me. I did not go. I had 2 free tickets. I did not go.
I'll tell you why. Wait. Auntie, you asked me a question. I'll tell you why. Because the same way a man wants that sort of validation, a woman wants assurance. I don't want to just blindly do everything all the time, especially sometimes I'm thinking, okay, that's a
okay. So let's talk.
That's what submission is.
No, so let's make a point. Auntie made a really important point. Auntie made a really important point because this point she's making is extremely important because a lot of women talk about being submissive, but they're submissive when it suits them.
Yeah,
it's not submission. So she wanted to go to the concert. He said no. She trusts him as a man. She didn't go. Absolute respect for that. That's exactly what my woman would have done. Exactly the same thing.
Facts.
Women go, I'm submissive. You're submissive when he's buying you shit in bed,
right,
and you're submissive. But the second he says something you don't like, you instantly turn off the submission and run your fucking mouth. That's not submissive. That's manipulation. That's bullshit. So that's the first thing. The second thing is responsibility and authority are linked. And as a man, if I'm going to be responsible for a woman, I need a degree of authority over her. This is the reality of it. If I'm going to be responsible for paying your bills, and responsible for your personal safety, and responsible for your personal development, and responsible for fixing the light fitting, and responsible for everything that I'm supposed to do as a man, I need a degree of authority to sometimes come along and say X, Y, Z and be obeyed. If I'm going to have a ship, if you have a ship, the reason the captain has to go down with the ship is because he is responsible for everything that happens on that ship. And because of that, he has authority. If he yells at the shipmates and they all ignore him, then he can't be considered responsible for the problems on the ship, which means he doesn't have to die with it. If you want a man invested in a relationship. He needs to be responsible for you, but he needs authority over you. And you know what? The smartest thing you can do as a woman is sit and go, you know what? Go into this concert. It's 2 hours, but this is going to piss him off, and it's going to be a splinter in his mind for years. Is this really worth it? Now, I'm not saying let some man abuse you, let some man treat you like shit, but if you have a good man who's good to you 99% of the time, and he comes along and he really cares about something, you should give him that grace and give him that, you know what, he's the man, he said it, boom, done.
Right.
Because if something happened to you at that concert, if your bag was snatched, if you got fucking robbed,
If a nigga put his hands up your skirt,
if someone tried to punch you, if someone grabbed you, who would you call?
Okay. The police.
Help me.
The police.
Yep.
You call your man.
The police.
You call him.
you say you call the police, but most bitches are calling a man first. I'm gonna call my cousin. I'm gonna call my brother. I'm gonna call my baby daddy. Like, stop playing.
Senor Andrew, Mr. Tate King, Master Supreme Leader of everything, the universe.
Look at Brittany. She hated that. She hated that. Tate's smiling. She hated that. Girl, look.
Call him.
Senor Andrew, Mr. Tate King, Master Supreme Leader of everything, the universe, the Matrix, and all of that. No, I just say this because it keeps him chill. I gotta make my points the right way. You know.
But Tate, do you not think that it's not respecting?
Wait, guys,
Listen.
wait 1 second. You go ahead. If you want to say something.
Just doing the most.
Of course, I have to do the most. This is the thing. What you don't understand is that as a lady, I am displaying to you that it's very easy to speak to a man like Andrew Tate as long as you don't need to step on his toes and you respect the authority that he has. I'm not going to sit here and try and fight against a man that has done a lot more in my life, been in rooms that I haven't been in because he's Andrew Tate. I respect you, but I can still put my point across. Okay? My point is... No, but there is a point, of course.
Look, can I just say something? When you say but after something, you just cancel everything you said before.
However, it's a point, it's an acknowledgement, and then comes the counter argument because I don't have to agree with things to speak. Okay? So my point simply is, fine, I get that. But at the end of the day, the same way that we have evolved now, as a woman I have evolved, I would expect, and what I do want is not equality, is a certain level of respect, which means that if I am also somebody that is quite smart, somebody that can take care of themselves, I've done all of this for about 30 years of my life, you can't tell me just no. What the condition is, the condition is, instead of telling me no, give me the assurance as to why you said no, because actually I am agreeable when you make me feel assured that what you're doing makes me feel safe, actually, because what women are looking a lot for is stability, and stability comes from knowing that you can trust the man. I don't trust blindly.
It doesn't count if you're only agreeable when you feel like being agreeable.
Can I just say something, Denova?
That's
Can
why
I just say something?
I'm submissive.
You're only submissive you're only submissive when you feel like being when you feel like
Can I just say something, Denova?
Out of respect.
We live in different houses.
Of course.
If I went, he'd never know. Me and my man, because I'm a caregiver. If I went, he would have never known.
Right.
So I still didn't go.
Okay. And?
So what you were saying?
So I'll say to you, okay, baby, you don't want me to go. Why don't you want me to go? Like, what's worrying? What's the matter? Why would you not want me to go?
But why would I want to question him when he's always got my best interest at heart?
And then if he explains it, well, this ain't gonna happen. Okay.
Well, I want to know. I don't know why, because my best interest.
Why should he have to explain everything?
Wait,
because you're not a child. You are also an adult.
No, and it's not.
I'm treating a woman like she doesn't have her own mind. It's very disrespectful.
It is an acknowledgement. It's
like, I'm sorry. Think about it. Right? I'm 26, right?
Yeah.
I've lived my life all by myself. And then I'm in a relationship and this man is telling me I can't go out. With no reason.
Girls, let me give you an
Does that make sense? Can I do that to a man and just say, I don't want you to go out?
If I told my man, listen, right, you said you're going such and such. But you know what? I don't really think you should go. He'll think about it and he'll say, you really don't want me to go? And I'll say, no, he won't go.
That's a lie.
That's not a lie.
There's no man
that's not a lie, bro. I mean, women easily convince men to stop doing things that they don't like them to do. Like, that's the reality, especially if she's a good woman.
That's nice. If we can do vetoes like that, baby, I can veto, you can veto.
Let me ask you girls a question. The reason she decided not to go is because this is obviously not a regular occurrence, right? So he had a reason and she trusts his judgment. Let me give you girls a scenario. Let's imagine I'm with a chick, whatever. She has a concert. I say, I don't want you to go. And she replies like you, why can't I go? And I say, got a bad feeling. Don't go.
Yep.
Now what?
Now I'll be like,
Well, where is this feeling coming
Do
from?
you think the
Too
woman
much,
should just go,
bro.
I don't give a shit about your stupid feeling and bounce? Or should
No.
she,
What
should she
is
trust
the
you?
reason?
It might
for
wait.
that
In
feeling?
There's no reason. There's no
Wait.
reason. I
That
got
doesn't
bad
make
feeling.
sense.
Wait.
A bad feeling.
This is the
That
thing.
doesn't make sense.
Wait.
That
This is
doesn't
the key.
a bad feeling.
Listen, my sister. This is the key. When you say, I don't know, I just got a bad feeling. Let me tell you how that is get translated into my head. He cares about me and he's actually thinking about something that potentially could be happening that I'm not aware of. I love him for thinking outside the box. But you've reassured me, you've shown me respect for being able to make my own decision. And that's all it takes. That's all a girl wants to hear.
No, but
I'm sorry,
when
you need
had
a logical
relationship-
reason as to why you're gonna tell me
A feeling is not logical. A feeling is not logical.
What is
Guys, the whole point is
Lord.
the whole point is a guy doesn't want to explain like every decision he makes.
And I don't want to submit
but
to every decision he
a lot of
makes.
times, like men think things through a lot like more than we realize, and so he's already thought about it. He's already made his decision. It's a headache to him when every time he makes a decision, he has to explain it to you.
Right, like doing the most, bitch.
If you trust that man and you've been with him as long as Auntie's been with her man, and he says something with the kind of relationship they have and the respect they have for each other, of course she's gonna be like, "Oh, right, well, cool, done." That's trust, and that's trust. And
I wasn't happy.
Of course, and also that's a really good point about submission, because submission is largely misunderstood. Like, I can tell you a million stories. I've had girls who are like, "Yeah, you're the man, you're in charge, and yeah, no problem." Yeah, she's cool, and she's cool on the jet. She's cool in Dubai. She's cool in the restaurant.
Yep, they will play the chameleon game. That's what a chameleon is. Okay, that's the definition of a chameleon, y'all.
She's cool in the 5-star. She's cool in the Lambo. But the second I say something that she half doesn't like, then she's like, "Well, you know what?" Then she's a feminist, right? So women do this very well. A lot of women flip flop. Like if you trust your man and you really want to be with him and you really want to submit to him, there's going to be times you're going to submit in ways you don't like. That's the whole point of it. There's going to be times you have to do things you don't want to do.
I've actually said this in the past. I respect
Esther,
you,
shut the fuck up. Jesus Christ. Literally, the ugliest woman on the panel thinks she deserves the most. It's insane.
To give a woman a life, you're willing to provide for her. So I respect that you can then tell her, "I want you to do this, babe," and she has to listen.
You're right, but a lot
of women, they want autonomy over themselves.
But
I don't personally,
Good for
I don't want
you.
a man that's going to provide for me.
Don't get in a relationship then. If you want autonomy over yourself, fine. Be single.
Just so he can tell me to sit down, and I'm a dog, and I'm going to sit down.
Let's understand
because
something.
I can make my own decisions too.
Let's understand something.
Jesus
Every
Christ.
man will give you a life.
Insufferable.
It's just a matter of whether you're happy with
Not
the life
every
that
man can afford it, though.
No, exactly. Every man will give you a life. It's just a matter of whether you're happy with the life that man is capable of giving.
Yep.
And this goes back into the earlier points we were saying.
And what you deserve. I'm sorry, Esther, but you're not really pulling a man on that type of level. Point blank. You're just not bad enough.
You can find a good man
or submissive enough
off and give you the best life he can possibly give you every ounce of strength inside of him. He'll give you all he has. You can get that. But if you're going to wake up and go, "No, I don't want that life. I want that life." Well, then that comes with problems.
Yeah.
And this is the cognitive dissonance that most females operate under, where they sit and go, "I want that life, but I want him to act like that guy. I want the Nissan and the McLaren." You can't have both.
Nope.
You need to decide. And
a project.
Female maturity, as you said earlier, you get to a point
they
where
don't want to build, though.
Maybe all that glitz and glam and bullshit isn't worth it.
It's not worth it.
You grow up, right?
Yeah.
And that's fantastic. And you make a different decision. And I'm saying that a lot of women get to that point. The problem is, in the modern world, the shit women did before they got to that point, from 19 to 24, pisses the man off to the point where he's never going to be as good as he could be.
Yeah.
It's different in your world, right? You met a man, you stay with that man, ding. I know plenty of people, first man, high school sweethearts. The world was different only 40, 50 years ago. The second man, they've been married forever, 50-year marriages, all that shit's gone. And then we have to tie back into all the other sub-points I've made. Into you've had a very fun life at your peak sexual value from 19 to 24, running around doing X, Y, Z. Now you're with this guy who can't give you the life he knows you've already lived. Part of him feels inferior. His status is damaged because all the shit you did is on Instagram and he ain't the one who gave it to you. And now you're expecting a whole bunch of crap out of him. And now when he comes and works his ass off and manages to save up and buy a BMW and picks you up, "Hey, I got a BMW," you go, Yeah, I like Mercedes. This is the point you're missing. It's not about the fucking car.
Exactly.
It's about something larger than that.
Yep.
It's about making him feel like he's a man again and that he's in charge.
A woman
sitting
shouldn't
here
have to make
arguing,
a man feel like
you're
a
sitting here
man.
going, I'm an autonomous female.
Well, but women want a man to make them feel like a woman. Treat me like a lady. Make me feel like a lady. It's bullshit. Women definitely can make men feel like men, or a better man, or a bigger man than he actually is, you know, just by talking nice to him. And they literally have lost that art. That's why Denelva just said a woman can't make a man feel like he's a man. Yes, she can. Like, you really feel like a man when you getting your dick sucked. You really feel like a man when your woman is listening to you and doing what you tell her to do. You feel like a man when your woman is, when you have guests over, your woman is, you know, making refreshments for all the guests. And she's plating them and putting them down on the table in front of your guests and asking people if they want refills. It makes you feel like a man because it makes you feel like your house is in fucking order. This is what she doesn't understand.
I can fucking like that. But what are you doing? You're damaging the psyche of the man who's trying to love you. Is it worth it for a fucking car?
What do you mean by loving? Can we break it down? Can we break it down? Does loving mean that you listen to what I have to say and also
I swear
think
she's
about
dumb
what
as hell.
I want and not just what you want? Is that what loving means? If that's it, I can subscribe to that. But I'm not gonna subscribe to sit down and you have to sit down.
It's not about that. It's
I'm a grown up.
Yes, what I say goes. That's really, it's that simple. It's that simple.
That's woman. I pay my own bills, and you're gonna tell me what to do?
That's fine. But it gets to a point. It gets to a point where you
God,
have to
she's
sit and
insufferable.
analyze the scenario
Insufferable.
you're in and try and realize and pick your battles. And I'm telling you, you may not realize it, but a man does a whole bunch of shit for you that you don't know. He's watching the shows you want to watch. He's listening to you talk gossip about the girls at work. He's fucking going, yeah, I like that dress, that dress. He doesn't give a fuck about any of it. He's doing it for you.
See, that's
but the second it's back the other way, you have some fucking issue.
Yep.
With autonomy.
Yep.
It's bullshit.
The man's doing everything. He's keeping you emotionally sound. He's paying for things. He's paying for meals. He's taking you out on dates. And then when the man wants something simple back from you, just like it's called words of affirmation. I thought these women listen or read the love language book or listen to the audio book at least, because they all want to speak about love languages. But then when I tell you, hey, just say that your favorite, even though it may not be your favorite car, is the same type of car that I have. Words of affirmation. That's literally a love language. And these women talking about, oh, I know love languages. I need to know your love language in order to da 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 da. And then he's telling you, hey, words of affirmation. He's not saying it directly, but he's basically saying, yeah, just give me reassurance that you think that I'm like that top guy. Okay. Tell me that I'm your top G. That's all we're asking. And then the women aren't even willing to do that. It's a damn shame.
Yeah, he's right, because women talk nonsense for a long time. And they say like, yeah, babe, you're right. Yeah, babe, can't believe she did that. It's true, babe. Oh yeah, that show is good. Yeah, babe. Yeah, it's true. You become
and that's facts. You become an emotional tampon for women. Look, Brittany Renner is shedding tears. She's like, oh my God, this is so triggering.
Agree. Men do a lot, but women do a lot too. As much as if my man caters to me, I will do anything to make him happy. If he says, "Oh, babe, I like this meal," I will make sure I can cook it for him. Because guess what? He actually cares about what I want as well. You can't just have a one-way relationship.
It's not one way. I'm just saying. I'm just commenting. I'm just saying. If I was a woman and I had to make a man as attracted to me as possible, my goal would be to give that man status and make him feel good about himself. And I would be very, very careful talking too much about life experiences or opposing views, not because he's out to oppress me, not because he's an evil, horrible person, but because he's trying to find somebody with a similar life view. He's trying to find somebody he can show the world to, trying to find somebody he can feel like he can teach things to. Mm-hmm. That's how you get the best out of a man.
Yeah,
I'll tell you now how you get the best out of a man.
That's why I got Clementine.
No, but if you go into a man's room when he's playing video games and you say, all you do is play video games, and you nag him, he'll play video games. If you walk in there and go, you know what, you're so smart. I've seen you do so many amazing things and you said so many amazing things. Why do you waste your time playing video games? You could show me so much. Now you're going to get him off the fucking console.
Yeah.
But it's an ego. I know it's an ego play. I know your old girls are like, why should I have to do that? Da-da. There's a lot of things.
Because it tells you look pretty in the morning.
It's because you win. It's because in the end you win. You talk about why should I have to do that? Well, why should you have to work hard in the gym to get six pack? Because you win. That's the game. It's actually, men are so simple. We are so simple. And the truth is, women know it. This is what's amazing. Women pretend they're confused. You're not confused. You know, you're just egos are in the way and society's telling you something else. And you just fucking refuse to be agreeable, nice people.
So,
exactly.
And then you wonder why men have this fucking problem marrying you.
She literally, did y'all hear what she just said? She said, I think agreeable sounds like a slave. Dude, this is exactly why brothers are dating out. Guys, just get with somebody who's pleasant to be with, man, because these women are insane. I think agreeable means a slave. Well, then you honestly don't understand what the word means, okay? It just means that you are open to hearing, listening, and leaning toward the man's objective. That's literally all it is, man. And it's so crazy. She can't even do that. Men don't ask much from women, and these women can't even give the fucking bare minimum. And they're the ones who are coining the phrase bare minimum, bare minimum. Oh, people giving the bare minimum. But when people ask them to give something, they're not even willing to give the bare minimum. It's literally crazy. Why Not says, why does she keep slipping into some Fox American accent like she is Romelu Lukaku, simping to king of the 304s? Why Not says that's about Esther, aka Uncle Fester. He says Uncle Fester is a fake Nigerian girl. She forgot her roots and culture. Africa, Nigeria, a patriarchal society. Men and family first. Yeah. Zivo Genius says these women are embarrassing. This is why we don't discuss with women. Yeah. Why Not says last stream, bro, said Brittany gonna cry. Crocodile tears, question mark. Yep. Zivo Genius says, and use for recreational use only.
I have a question for the girls. So imagine you're dating a guy, okay, and it's your birthday, and for your birthday he gets you, let's say, a $500 gift, okay, and you're happy, right? It's thoughtful, it's specific to you.
Yep.
Then you found out last year he got his ex-girlfriend an entire birthday party. How does that make you feel? He did the most. He rented out the nicest hotel in London. He got her everything she wanted the year before.
Me not care.
You don't care at all?
You don't care?
Yeah. As long as he's making me happy.
Okay,
yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Pearl's not the best at giving analogies that will really press into these women's brains, but it is what it is.
Yes, we're different. We're different people too.
Yeah.
It's a different relationship, and maybe like, you know, he
Oh, he says Lukaku is a soccer player. Okay.
bought her flowers every day, 365 days a year, and he didn't do that for me. It's like, well, if that's what makes her happy, he's gonna do what makes her happy.
Exactly.
I mean, I get the angle. What you're saying is like, oh, he did all that for her. Why am I not good enough? But the second you compare yourself, you lose.
Yeah.
And I agree, but I'm just saying that's how men look at like your past, is like basically like you've given it for free.
So here's my question to that, because all right, I love like everything we're talking about. Okay, so to all the viewers out there, including myself, right? You live life. There's gray area. You live and you fucking learn, right?
Too late.
So where the fuck do we go from here? So do I play the shame game where everybody walks away a fucking loser? Because I can do that. I beat myself up my entire life for every decision I've ever made. Right?
Yeah, but you keep like saying that you're standing 10 toes and you're standing on your truth and all this shit. At least say that, look, man, I am doing a whole 180 away from that life. I'm coming to Christ, or I'm coming to Allah. We need a real transformation, not no fucking secular. Oh, well, I beat myself up and I'm tired of being self-loathing and all this stuff. And I just want a man to accept me for who I am now. Nah. We don't have to. You're literally in the same boat as Alana Rhodes. And it's crazy because from what I know of, I don't know that you have a leaked intercourse tape. but you're literally in the same boat as Lana Rhoades, and you haven't fucked nearly as many people, and that's sad.
Got me nowhere.
No.
So I value myself. I see the world differently through a series of events, right? So what the fuck comes next? Because that's where I'm confused, right? Because I'm not. It's like if you don't, if it's not like gifted to you, like even in your situation, like your dad provided you a life that like so many people would kill for, like you know what I mean? So that's why it's like it sucks because the reason.
Here we go. The oppression Olympics. Your privilege. Your privilege. Well, Brittany, you were provided a life too. You lived with your grandparents and they took great care of you, and they were probably living off of benefits and a VA loan and Social Security and all this shit. And you were not wanting for any meals or nothing. Okay. You did lack male leadership. You didn't have your father directly involved in your life. Your mother allegedly was a lady of the night at that time until you got older. So you didn't really have direct leadership, which I definitely understand. But at the end of the day, you were taken care of. So don't act like, oh, well, just because, you know, you had a great this and that. And it's like, dude, okay, cry me a river. At the end of the day, you graduated high school. From my understanding, well, I'm not going to say she graduated high school a virgin, but I think that her grandparents did a good job of keeping her from getting fucked because they knew how attractive she was as a, you know, mixed race woman in the South. All right. She would be coveted after a lot. And what did she do? She went to Jackson State and showed her complete ass and fucked around and made a huge mistake and totally turned away from Meemaw's cooking. Okay.
Hate these conversations is because it's never about like empathy. Do I understand the scales? And
well, women don't have empathy for men. So let's stop it right there. If you had empathy for men, then you would fucking settle. You would settle. You would be more empathetic to a man who had a pot belly, had a beer gut. You would be more empathetic to a man who was not 6 feet, who was 5'5". You would be more empathetic to a man who may not have had his bag together. You would be more empathetic to a man who was shy and not an extrovert, and he was introverted, and he really didn't have that many connections or many people that he could reach out to for help in a financial, social, or emotional way. So you wouldn't settle. So why are you asking men to settle? This is the bullshit that these women do. This is the bullshit because you over here talking about, oh, well, we need to be more, men need to be more empathetic. Oh, well, you're not empathetic with short men. So you're not empathetic with men who have small cocks. Okay. You're not empathetic with men who can't buy you a Birkin bag tomorrow. You're not empathetic to men who don't have a 6-pack. Okay. So that's that.
And how someone may view you for this, that, and the third. Okay, but moving forward, then what? So, okay, so I'm just gonna, like I said, make it about myself. I'm 30, single, mom. My fucking checkered past is all over Instagram. You know what I mean? I have people like you who are, she's a hoe, she's literally known for this. Okay. So what would be your advice to people like me then?
But I don't believe in grey area. I believe black and white. So
okay, well, that's unfortunate because there's gray.
I don't believe in grey area.
There's gray.
There's
gray in life.
You know what? To answer, wait, I'm going to answer. I mean,
I
I just think there's consequences for your decisions, and I just think like my best advice would be to like lower your standards.
Yep.
Like that, because
there you go. Oh, have empathy. No, because y'all don't have empathy for men. So the top tier guys, they're going to get who the fuck they want. And when women are hot and they're at their peak, they get who they want. Okay. They may not be able to keep them, but they definitely have sex with those men, and they get to have that experience where men don't have any sexual interaction. And I always say that sexual access and sexual variety is essential to a man's mental health. So men have to struggle, and nobody has empathy for us. Nobody feels sorry for us when you're struggling. Nobody feels sorry when you go to a club and try and talk to a woman, and then she does that to you and says, oh, you're too short, and doing all this shit. So nobody has empathy for men, and I'm not asking for it. I don't give a fuck. Okay. We don't give a fuck. As men, we're like, fuck it. I know my situation. I know what I have to do to be attractive. Either I'm going to do it or I'm not. Either I'm going to pursue women or I'm going to jerk off. That's really what it is. So we have to accept our fate. We accept our fate. Now it's your turn. Now it's your turn. Shout out to Zevo. He says, Brittany Renner is a single mom. Her views are invalid. It's like asking a homeless guy for investment advice. Yes. Why not? Says, insufferable is the word. These manufactured bitches are insufferable. Why not? Also says, damn. Lana Rhodes. Damn. Wiz G said, it's facts. She is in the same boat as Lana Rhodes, as I originally thought she was a adult film actress for always being associated with Tiana Trump. Yes. I was always surprised when I found out she was an IG thought. Exactly. She literally associates herself with Tiana Trump to insinuate that, oh, yeah, y'all think Tiana Trump is the throat goat. Me and Tiana are the throat goats. And I wouldn't even be surprised if they have done threesomes together with celebrity men. Oh, yes, I said it. I wouldn't be surprised. Allegedly. Why not? Says there's stupid choice and there are good choices. After the 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th stupid choice in men chasing the bag, it's your own damn fault. Exactly. And guess what? We don't have empathy for you anymore. It's just like doing drugs. We don't have empathy for the crackhead. Hell no, we don't. Niggas don't have empathy for the crackhead. We making jokes about the crackhead. We tripping the crackhead up when he walking. When he doing the dope lean, we laughing at him. We filming him. We putting it online. We put it on World Star. Nobody has empathy for the crackhead. Why? Because he's a fucking addict. And we know if we help him, he's going to go right back to the damn streets. So guess what men know? We know if we save you bitches, don't save her. She don't want to be saved. She going to go right back to the streets. She's going to go right back to the streets. So men, we don't have time for that. We don't have time.
She belongs to the street.
She belongs to the streets, y'all.
Because I just think there's going to be consequences for putting, promiscuous stuff on the internet.
Yep.
Okay.
And you probably won't.
And let's go. Let's go to Brittany Renner's Instagram. Stay up off my Instagram, your temptation. Still doing hoe shit. Oh, well, men, we're just having fun. Or women, we're just having fun. Oh, I guess she's addressing her difference. And look, she put game changer in her bio because Kevin Samuel said she was a game changer. So let's listen up.
Hi. As a former loud and proud man hater, here are 5 things that have changed the game.
Oh.
Number 1, I realized I didn't hate men.
Of course. Well, we know all these women who say, oh, I hate men. We all know that they actually don't hate men. As a matter of fact, they love men. They love sucking dick. They love getting fucked. They love, getting their ass eaten by guys like Kevin Gates. They love men. They fucking love men. Okay? They love men. We know this. That's why y'all have so much sex with that many men. The main women who say, oh, I hate men are the main ones who are having hella sex with men. It's fucking crazy.
I hated the way I allowed myself to be mistreated by men. Big difference, right? You're not a victim. You are a participant.
Yep.
And when you point the finger, you miss out on the opportunity to grow. Number 2.
Well, she's maturing. She's coming around, but let's see if is she gonna still be delusional about high value men? As a matter of fact, why don't she go find Megan Good's ex? That was a high value man who is faithful. He's a God fearing man. Devon, what's that man's name? Devon. What's that boy's name? Megan Good's ex-husband. Why don't she go find him, Devon Franklin? Why don't she go find Devon Franklin? Because he got done dirty by Megan Good, and then he got done dirty by the internet. Okay, He got done dirty by Megan Good, and then he got done dirty by the internet. They made fun of him when he was crying, when he was pouring his heart out and being emotional and wearing his heart on his sleeve and showing women that, hey, I'm emotional too. Look, they were making fun of him in the comments section when he posted this. I don't know how to get rid of this damn ad. Every time you try and click the damn Xbox. There we go. So look, they had, posts about it and laughing at this man and saying, oh, well, da-da-da-da, whatever, talking shit about, the brother Devon Franklin, when he's a God-fearing man. This man is a God-fearing man, and he's devout. He's devout, too. He ain't like these born-again Christian women who say, oh, well, my virginity, it's replenished and rejuvenated because I was baptized in the name of Jesus. No, this man is devout. He wakes up every day and chooses not to sin. He wakes up every day and chooses not to sin. And guess what? He takes accountability too. This is from what he posted last year. I took this picture a few months ago. I'm not much of a crier. So in a moment of deep pain and peace, I took the picture. It captures best how I feel. I share this with you because it is the most honest way to start this year. I know we are starting a new year, yet I don't wish you a happy new year. I wish you a happy true year. Spoken like a devout Christian. This man exemplifies what it means to walk by faith and not by sight. He's even closing his eyes in this post. Why don't you go hit him up, Brittany Renner? Why don't you slide in this man's DMs? He's handsome. He's tall. He's clean. He's light-skinned, just like you are. Why don't you go talk to Devon Franklin? This is the man that the women should be clamoring over, running after, pulling up to his pulpit, to his section in the church. This is where y'all should be going because this is a good man. Good. And this is how our sisters treated him. Same with Kevin Samuels. They did him the same way. That's how the sisters treated him. Had him crying on Instagram, and then at his lowest point, they dug the knife in. Why not says, he says, big up J. Cole. That song was a mantra. Then he says, they hate men. No, they hate themselves. Facts. He says, you point the finger, 3 points straight back at you. Absolutely. Oh, matter of fact, we weren't even done with Brittany Renner's post. So because we had to go to her Instagram because I need to remind you guys who she is. I'm glad that she's making a turn, but she's already poisoned so many women. This woman in the comments says, I stand beside my man-hating era. I think it was necessary to get to where I'm at now. I agree with everything besides point 3. You don't need to get picked, and you damn sure don't need to go to the gym to get picked. Work on yourself. Oh, yes, you do. This woman says, work on yourself however you see fit, and the man made for you will find you. Jesus Christ, these women are still delusional. Let's listen up. The man made for you will still find you. Work on yourself however you see fit. Dude, what if working on myself however I see fit is jerking off and eating ice cream and Cheetos and playing video games? What if that's how I see fit? I'm working on my finger dexterity. I'm working on my reaction time and my quickness. What if that's how I view working on myself? Dude, come on.
As a former loud and proud man hater, here are 5 things that have changed the game for me. Number 1, I realized I didn't hate men. I hated the way I allowed myself to be mistreated by men. Big difference, right? You are not a victim. You are a participant. And when you point the finger, you miss out on the opportunity to grow. Number 2, I stopped saying I didn't need a man. Because if I want a relationship with a man, then I need one, right? Okay, that's that on that.
Yeah.
3, you can't be that serious about getting picked if you're not in the gym at least 3 times a week.
Facts. And I love this. I love this. I love this that Brittany is saying this. Oh, man, she might have some hope after all. The only thing that she's going to have to accept is if she wants a high value man, she has to understand that he's going to exercise options. After that, she's fucking good. Yes. Like I said, it's an active choice if you want to turn a hoe into a housewife. And Brittany Renner has been drugged through the ringer. And I think that she is starting to realize that she was moving in the wrong way. Go find Devon Franklin, Brittany, and get your husband, okay? Go find Devon Franklin, go to church, and find your husband. Because I guarantee those men, it's going to take a lot more for those men to cheat on you. I guarantee Devon Franklin did not cheat on Megan Good, but Megan Good definitely cheated on Devon Franklin. She was outside before their divorce even finalized. She was outside before their divorce even finalized. So that's some bullshit, too.
You don't even take care of yourself, so how would you expect someone to take care of you?
Yep. That's definitely a turn on. Definitely a turn on. I mean, look, Brittany Renner, obviously, she's a beautiful woman. She's working on herself. She's trying to get her man. But it's crazy, man. It's crazy. She's turning a new leaf. And I'm glad to see it. I'm glad that she woke up. And I do think because of her beauty, all hope is not lost, but she is going to have to understand and live with some uncomfortable truths. I really wish that she would have just made it work with PJ, because that was literally her best shot at that type of man that she really wanted physically and who had money. I really wish she would have worked it out with PJ.
4, I stopped entertaining stragglers, and stragglers are guys you meet along the way that you know you're not
like Kevin Gates, like Lil Uzi Vert.
Not really ever going to take seriously, but you use them for your own personal entertainment.
Her own personal entertainment, translation, to get sex, to feel an orgasm.
Number 1, that's wrong. Number 2, you're sending a mixed message. Stay committed to what you want.
Yep.
Most importantly, number 5, accountability.
Yep.
Ooh. I analyzed my behavior and what parts of me resonated with these men I deemed problematic. I'm here to tell you that the call is coming from inside the house.
Yep.
And it's time to pick up. First of all, hi.
So I like that, man. I like that a lot. Let's listen to this one.
First of all, hi. People are so quick to say, if you were smart, you could have. If I were you, I would have. If you were me, you'd be no different than you are now, which is utterly forgettable just in my body. The average person is below average. So although we're all capable of change, most rarely do. That is why change is so alarming to people. It's unheard of. People aren't willing to go the distance, to put in the work, to believe in themselves. You cannot dwell on decisions you've made. I have tried a multitude of things at the...
I would just tell her, she's probably going to hate this, but I would just say, try and speak a little softer, Brittany. Men don't like when you hear that it's a tone, it's a frequency, like that high, mid, it's probably around like between like 8,000 and 12,000 hertz. Men don't like that frequency being increased in decibel. So I would just say speak a little softer. Like when you came in, you said, first of all, hi. Like try and keep that tone. And because like once you get that high mid-range and it sounds masculine, it sounds aggressive, just like this sentence here. I have tried a multitude of things at the buffet of life. So she says, I tried a multitude of things at the buffet of life. Say it like, I have tried a lot of I have tried a multitude of things at the buffet of life or something. Be softer. Like, because like, I tried a lot of things at the I done tried a lot of shit at the buffet. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's unattractive, but go off.
Buffet of life, and I will not apologize for it.
Ooh, and this too. I mean, I will not apologize for it. Oof, like I mean, it is masculine energy, so she's you know, it's like she's taking one step forward, two step back.
I don't do apology tours. I know what I like and what I don't like, what's good for me and what's not, and where I want to go moving forward. And thankfully, hallelujah, I don't need anybody's permission to change. And you'd be surprised.
I'm telling you, she's talking to women. The women who are mad that she walked away from hoe culture or is walking away, trying to at least.
You'd be surprised how many people benefit from you staying the same.
Yep.
Regardless if it's strangers or online or people you know personally that are no longer benefiting from you staying the same.
Kevin Gates, Lil Uzi, they're no longer benefiting from her embracing thought culture because they're no longer getting that free sex, allegedly. Even though we all know that a bad bitch is never going without dick.
They have the loudest opinions because a narrow mind and a wide mouth usually go together. And that is why when they voice their opinions, you pay them dust. First of all.
Okay. All right. So this is her sister.
Questions for the group chat. Most likely to die single.
So she was speaking about going to the gym. You need to tell your sister to hit the gym. Now her sister actually has, she's a bottle girl. So she actually could possibly bag a high value man as long as she understands that these men are going to exercise their options. But her sister is overweight. She does have a tattoo under her breast. Her sister needs to lose at least 50 pounds.
Who is the alcoholic? Who has the highest body count?
Yeah, she has the highest body count. And she was throwing it back. More hoe shit.
You bring home to meet the family.
So you bring both of them home to the family? They're pointing at each other? No, ma'am.
Looks like a baddie but is actually a softie.
You're my honey bun sugar plum.
Most likely to get scammed and not even know it.
What are you? An idiot sandwich.
Most likely to become a model.
No, she's too fat to be a model. Come on. And she's got some big tits, but the stomach, oof.
First to die in a zombie apocalypse.
I mean, nice tits for sure. Nice rack, but the stomach is not giving what it's supposed to give. She need to go ahead and go to Dr. Miami real bad.
Most likely to get arrested.
That's the sound of the police.
Most likely to be found dead in front of their computer. Person you would go to for advice if you fucked up. Saucy questions for the...
Okay, so yeah, that was that. I mean, it looks like Brittany Renner is trying to learn, but she has not archived nor deleted all the hoe shit from her profile, which she needs to probably do now. Even though we all love looking at the pictures, it still hurts her image in, you know, when it comes to men. When men look through the profile, they don't want to see their woman putting her body all the way out there like that. You know, especially high value men, but it is what it is. Let's keep going.
Don't get the type of guy that you could have got at 22.
Do you know what, sister?
It wasn't meant to be then.
Do you know what I'll tell you? I would say, because I'm 30 and I'm single out of a
Wasn't meant to
situation
be
that
then.
actually is not because I was a hoe and I was doing whatever. People can't call me that. I made a bad decision to be with somebody that hurt me a lot, and I stayed for 5 years.
So at least she took accountability and said she made the bad decision, because yes, that was your decision, ma'am. Nobody forced you.
I came out super late. And do you know what I realized? What I learned is that I know now that I have to be selective and I have to think. If me taking longer to get to that stage is what it takes, then that's what it takes. You accept your future, you accept everything with gratitude, because as long as you're breathing, that's the most important thing. At least you've got your child. I am not afraid because I know the quality of woman that I am. I know my value regardless of whether I'm 30, 40, 50. Yeah. Do you understand? So you don't be afraid by other people's time limits and limitations and all of these things, because it actually doesn't matter. And I'll tell you why.
No, but your value goes down as you get older.
That's according to
like, no, but I'm saying to men, and you have to understand.
I'll tell you why.
Buyer.
I'll tell.
Denelva, oh honey, do we have to go back? Oh God, do we need to go back to Denelva's Instagram Stay up off my Instagram, your temptation. Honey, you need to face the damn reality. You need to face the reality. Ma'am, I'm going to tell you right now, your window for getting a high value man was years ago. Let's go back in time. This is the best picture that I have found of her. 2015, May 19th. This is when you should have been looking for a husband. Right here. Look at her. She's in shape. This one's an actually a cute picture. In shape. Got body yaddy yaddy. She used to be, like, people would probably consider her a bad bitch back in the day. Because the youth was still on her face, so it made you overlook the forehead. But now that those crow's feet are creeping up, now that those brow wrinkles are creeping up, now that the crow's feet around your mouth and your eyes are creeping up, okay, it's catching up to you. And now your features look way more strong than soft. So now your chin looks a lot sharper. This one's actually, she's in a good light here. Let's see. So this one is actually a decent light, but you could tell she's overweight. Yeah, stomach, the proportions are way off. She's not really curvy. She's just kind of like tubey, like a tube, like a Pringles can. You know, long, tall, but you know, it is what it is. Like, honey, you look way better in 2015 than you do now. 7 years later, yeah, you didn't age the best. Okay, that's the reality.
Tell you why. Because since Mr. Andrew Tate explained something about status, I understand very well what that actually means. And as a woman, the quality and the value that I hold for myself is actually the kind of value and quality that a man will appreciate the status it will bring to him, whether or not I'm a virgin. Because I've worked on myself to be a woman of quality and substance. I respect myself and I handle myself as such. Okay? And that is the way that you're going to actually overcome all of these bad mistakes that you've made, because who you are right now actually will make a difference if you stick to it and if you mean it and if you've always been that way. There's always another story for everybody. It doesn't matter. You'll be fine.
Do you know what I would
just find somebody that's more emotionally mature.
Do you know what I would have said to you?
What are you about to say, Andrew? Because you just started speaking.
I want to say
Andrew. She said
Andrew. I want to hear. I really because you've been through a lot in your life. I like when she told me that you were going to be on and we were going to be on this panel together. I started watching a bunch of your videos, and it really was like there's so much that you have been through, which is why you have a well of wisdom, right? And the difference between me and you is that you're glorified for it, and I am burned at the stake for everything that I've been through. And it's so funny.
Damn, and the news is getting out. Tate is really done for. Not done for, but they're saying he's arrested. I don't see any handcuffs on him. I'm trying to look, and his hands were in his pockets. I do see handcuffs on his brother, though. I see a bracelet maybe or a watch on Andrew Tate. Actually, that might be a watch on Tristan, too. I don't see handcuffs.
Because people have always said that we were two sides of the same coin as far as like, well, if Andrew Tate gets banned, Brittany Renner should get banned because it's
going viral, guys.
About accountability and fucking truth, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So you've been through a lot. I've been through a lot. I'm seen as used goods. You're seen as a high value man.
Yep.
So if you're me, then what? What's next?
Yeah, it's really interesting. And it's interesting you make that observation, and you are correct. That's the difference between the masculine and the feminine. It's unfair, I guess. The world's not fair, but that's the difference between the masculine and the feminine. Men are respected for going through things and surviving, and women are the complete opposite. They're shamed for going through things and surviving. If you look at women love scars on men for a reason. He's gone through something.
They're war wounds.
Yeah, men don't want a chick covered in scars. I'll say this right now, that a woman, the more trauma she goes through, the more masculine she naturally becomes. And if you were to give me my ideal woman, I would not have wanted her to have a hard life and a bunch of trauma. I like the idea of her having a soft feminine life and being a soft person, and I can take care of her and protect her. Whereas as a man, to be a good man, you need to have been through a bunch of trauma, because if you haven't been through trauma as a man, you're a weakling. You have to have been through a bunch of shit. So the masculine and the feminine is a very interesting point there. As for I don't know your history. I don't know the past, but we can just talk in generalizations in regards
People
to
like me, I guess, under the same umbrella. It doesn't have to be personal.
I don't know any of it, but we'll give generalizations. One of the main reasons that men are scared of a female with history is because it makes the man insecure. And scared dogs bite. So this is why men will snap or get angry quick, or they'll bring up if you get in an argument with him, he'll bring up your history, whatever. But a lot of it is insecurity, and it's not insecurity because the man is insecure. The woman.
Look, Tristan's actually doing the hand portal when he's arrested. So yeah, I think the pictures, these updated pictures, they do have handcuffs on. I mean, it really could. Honestly, it could be a publicity stunt too. It really could. I don't know though. This is interesting though. I can't wait to see what happens from this.
The female paradigm in society convinces any man who says anything, you're insecure. It's not insecure in that way. It's insecure in a very realistic, logical way. Like I was saying earlier, she's had a lot of life experience. Let's be honest. Am I the richest guy she's ever had? No. Am I the most famous guy she's ever had? No. Am I the best looking guy she's ever had? No. Like, what's keeping her here? And then part of it comes down to, well, am I second place? If she could do better, would she do better? Like, there's a whole bunch of insecurity involved. And that's where tiny things, like I know it sounds like dumb shit, tiny things about the favorite car brand become more important than ever, right? It's your job as a woman, regardless of how much sexual history you've had or what guy you're with, etc. It's your job as a woman to make your man feel secure in the fact and make him feel like a man, like Auntie was saying, make him feel like the man, no matter what he does, so that he feels like you really, truly believe he's the best choice for you on the planet. That's your job to do. Now, if you've got a checkered past, that's perhaps more difficult. You need to be more tactful with it, more tactical about it.
Yeah.
But you have to achieve the same result. You have to do the exact same thing, right? So, yeah, it's easy for me if I get a 21-year-old virgin from some village in Slovakia and I'm multimillionaire Andrew Tate. Of course, it's a very easy. She's never had better. She'll never get better. She's never been anywhere. Boom, boom, easy one, right? But like you said, the world's not so idealistic. The reality is that people have had relationships, etc., etc. But a man is happiest in the relationship when he feels like man of the house, and when he truly feels like you believe he's the best man that you could possibly ever get and have ever gotten. Because a man is jealous. I'll tell you something. I used to say this to girls as like a joke. And I used to say, I say it's a joke. So you cheated on me before I met you. And she'd be like, what do you mean? I didn't even know you. It's like, yeah, you fucked that guy before I even knew you. You cheated on me. And they used to laugh, whatever. But that's how men think.
That is true.
That's the male mind. Like, I love you. And you've been fucked by who? But I didn't know you. I don't care if you knew me. You should have waited.
That's true.
But that's the male mind. So he is in competition with all of your exes and all of your lifestyle and all the things you've done permanently. And it's down to you as a woman to sit there and go, how do I make him secure in himself and secure in his masculinity and make him believe that investing in me is still worthwhile because I still truly value him, despite the fact that I could do X, Y, Z. I hope that gives some clarity, but that's the answer.
So how do you know what I would have said? I would have said, oh, for anybody in that situation, come off social media and just raise your child. So the person who meets you's got nothing to. Like, I never knew you. I never knew who you were because I've never heard of you before. So when I spoke to you, by the way the way you're saying like what's on the internet, let me just say, you're a nicer person than what you sound like what you perceive to be. Mm-hmm. Like you were saying, oh, that Pearl's got, oh, there, she's a whore, and I've heard the name, but I don't know anything about you. And I was saying that if you didn't have nothing on social media about your checkered past, and you met somebody the same way how I met you and I conversed and I got to know you is the same way that they would.
Yeah, and it is interesting. And it's also back to the masculine and feminine, right? Because I'm all over the internet and supposedly I'm misogynist and I'm evil and all this crap, right? But if I meet a girl, even if she disagrees with me, in fact, I'll say this, I've never, ever met a single female who's ever come up to me and disagreed with me. Every woman comes up to me and loves what I says. But let's imagine I met this imaginary girl, she was sitting there. And if I were to have a 10-minute conversation with her, by the time I explain the level to which they tried to destroy me, how they tried to freeze all my bank accounts, raise illegal charges against me, put me in jail for things I didn't do, put a travel ban, take my passport, all this garbage. By the time I explain how hard they tried to hurt me and failed, she'll want me. Because she'll be like, you can't kill this guy. And that's going to be it. Like, you say a bunch of shit I don't like, but you know what? You're the man. So it is about experience, and it is different. And that's a really good point about social media. Social media amplifies all of this shit. It amplifies all these problems. Everything we're discussing, everything we've discussed back to the beginning, from status to promiscuity to your past, it's all social media. Without social media, a lot of it goes away.
Yeah. And I think that's why me and my man last so long, is that he doesn't do social media, and there's nothing on there about me.
I feel like, to answer your question too, because I have had people say that as a solution, and it's like, you can run but you cannot hide from the truth. And I have shared why my voice has been so impactful and will continue to be impactful is because I have put myself out there and I have been punished for being honest. So it's like, I have been given a platform and a voice for a reason. Even
Literally, the top 2 trending topics are human trafficking and Andrew Tate. Insane. They're saying they arrested him because they identified he was in Romania because he used a Romanian pizza company. It's crazy, man.
Sitting down in this conversation thinking there's not one person I'm probably going to agree with and probably going to want to leave. I have been called here for a reason. So it's like, I can't go against what is in my heart and what I am coded to be. And that's why I feel like it's important for me to sit here and represent people who feel like me, because it's like, I don't want to say I didn't choose. I don't even want to say that. I just feel like I don't see a lot of women under my umbrella who feel the way that I feel. I don't see opinions shared that would be worded the way that I feel. Nothing. I feel like a lot of my thoughts are very unique, and it's kind of scary because I have been.
I don't think so. You've literally been speaking that feminist rhetoric that these women keep saying. Like you pretty much posture yourself like every other woman who's embracing feminism and thought culture.
Through different things, I see the world in a different place, and when I even speak online, people think I'm fucking speaking Swahili.
Yeah.
So it's like,
I know exactly what you're saying, and you're making good points. And it's just, I think that regardless of whether, like, we're talking about different positions, I compare everything to chess. I know it's annoying. We're looking at different positions on the chessboard, but the rules are still the same, right?
Okay.
No matter how bad your position is or how good your position is, you're still trying to achieve the same objectives. And you want the man to get high status, and you want the man to feel secure in himself. And I think it's very difficult. I can only talk from the male perspective because I am a man. It is very difficult. If I were to meet a woman who I liked very much, but she had X whatever, past whatever, my concerns would be, how do I know that I'm still the number one? How do I know I'm most important in her life, especially if I don't measure up in certain key metrics? And two, the second thing that's most scary for men is we understand that men are constantly after what we have. Like, your inboxes are all full. Like, they may not be with guys you want to reply to, but guys are still trying to get it. That's the male life. The male life is people are trying to take everything from me. And that's very scary. And you have to make your man really believe like that's impossible. If a man truly believes that nobody can take you from him, he's going to love you in a different way. You can give me 2 carbon copies of the same chick, but one I think might cheat in the right circumstances, and one I know no matter what would never leave me. The love I'll feel for this one is a different planet to the love I feel for this one, even though they're the same person, right? Because that's every man's biggest fear, is a woman cheating or leaving, because there's something visceral and something different about it. I know I talk things and I say men can do things and women can't and all this stuff, but like, if a woman cheats on a man, that hurts the man at a level that it doesn't hurt the woman if the man cheats on her. It's different. It's different biologically. It's different evolutionarily. Like, that's what men used to fight and die over. You talk to my chick. You look at my chick. His
dick off.
Yeah, it's like you demasculinize him on every level. Like, and this is why you see these TikToks, right? You see these TikToks. Me and my man went on a break, got back together. He fucked 20 girls, and now he's crying because I went on a date. Yes, completely yes. Because the damage level is different. It's just a different thing. So you have to understand the paradigms. You have to understand to play the game, and that's how you make men happy. And I know very well how. I like to believe that I would know very well how to make a woman happy. And I know, and whether I do that or not is a conscious decision. And that's where you get to a certain level of grand mastery, where if I get a woman, I will literally decide out of 10, how happy do I want her? Does she deserve to be happy 10? Or should I keep her like crying half the time? That it's very conscious, and women don't think that way. But I'm saying, if you're a cunning woman, you could be like that. You could be a bit more like, you know what? I want him infatuated with me. This guy ain't worth the time. That guy I want. And then when you're going to do that, just like the game of chess, if you play chess, it's not big moves that make you lose. It's small positional plays. It's that time you argued about your favorite car. It's the time you disagreed with him about the favorite band. It's the dumb shit that adds up. Whereas really, truthfully, if you're truly smart about the game, you can get him to a point after a few months where he's like, she's my soulmate. She loves everything I love.
All right, we're going to stop it there. That's pretty much it. I mean, I don't think there's much else to break down. We got through the meat and potatoes. Actually, there was a pretty heated argument between Auntie and what's her name that I want to get to as well. Let me see, because they were going back and forth with it. Let me see if I can find it. Let's see if I can find it. Okay. It was the last thoughts. Okay, here we go. Let's run it here. Okay, let's go. Bring it back.
Of course not.
All right, I think Pearl basically asked people what do you disagree with the red vitamin.
Like I don't know. I don't really disagree. It's just
you know, it is what it is. She didn't really disagree hard.
Okay. But they get feeling like that.
Valid, and I totally see certain angles. Like there's a lot of stuff that was said that, I mean, there's so many people on this panel, it's hard to talk, but it's like there's a lot of things I was said, okay, maybe I don't agree with, just because again, my walk of life and what I've seen and how I feel and how I choose to be empathetic towards people, regardless of whatever they've been through. But I don't really.
So it's more for you. It's the lack of empathy sometimes.
Yeah, I think that's probably it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let Esther go.
You're punishing me, yeah. No worries, we'll talk.
See, what I don't really agree with is the incel culture of men feeling like they're entitled to a woman.
The incels definitely don't feel like they're entitled to a woman. I don't know where she's getting that shit from. They're involuntary celibates for a reason. If they thought that they were entitled to women, they would just go to Vegas and fuck a whore.
A lot of men don't look good. They don't got money. They don't do anything for themselves. And they expect women to.
She's telling on herself. Men don't look good. They don't have money. That's what they want, guys. Looks and money.
To have sex with them, women to want to be with them. Why should she want to be with you?
Let me ask you a very important.
Why?
Let me ask you a very important question. Those delusional men, do they sleep with women?
Nope.
Of course not.
Okay, then that's it. That's the end of the discussion. They have no type of say in the dating game. If you're a man and you're not getting sex, you don't have any influence on the dating game. So why the women complain about men this, men that, men do this, men do that, but the men who you're talking about, especially when it comes to the red vitamin, don't even have access to women. So what are we really saying here?
Angry. You see them in Pearl's comments. Oh, she's a modern woman. It's like, no, she doesn't want you because you are a lowlife. Get over it. Go and work. Go to the gym. Go and work on yourself. Go out and get a job. Go and get some money.
The red pill.
Guys are already doing that.
That's what most of the men-centric content tells guys to do. Go to the gym, get your money up, that sort of thing. Learn game.
No, but that's not what they're doing. What they're doing is saying, "Oh, women are delusional. Oh, women want this."
They are delusional,
women know
bro.
what they want. If you want those women, go and do what they want.
You don't have,
and then you'll be chosen.
You don't have to worry about the men that aren't getting laid and all the
exactly,
women
dumbass.
Okay, yeah, YouTube comments, but besides YouTube comments,
she doesn't get it
in society and they don't exist and nobody gives a shit. Right?
She doesn't get it.
What I was saying earlier about reality slaps men in the face and shows them their place very quickly because all these men, reality is showing them their place. There are women who are disagreeable and unlikable and doing wrong things and acting badly and fucking up how to make a man attracted to them, and they're not being slapped in the face by reality because they're still ending up with a partner. So this is the point we're trying to make here. I agree. I know what you're saying about red pill. There's a whole bunch of bitter, hate-filled guys. I agree with that.
Yes. Can I just drop another comment? When I came on your show, they were in my DMs. I'm thinking, do you not have things to do with your life? Like the fact that you sit on Pearl's little comments.
It doesn't take long to send a DM, especially if you said something that people didn't agree with. People send me DMs all the time. I don't give a fuck. I actually go back and forth with them. And, you know, I like going back and forth and talking shit to each other. It is what it is.
And then come into my my social media and then slide in my DMs. Like, you really have nothing to do with
were
your
they
life.
hitting on you, or were they like?
Oh no, they were
insulting you?
calling me a
Oh,
misandrist.
some girls get hit on even after they insult.
Oh no, they were calling me a misandrist because of the fact that we just don't want you. Like, get over it.
Well, that's just the internet, though.
Right.
That's
Jesus
I get, like,
Christ.
people insult me
Yeah,
all
but
the-
it's
people make
not
video,
good
like,
enough.
it's just
they're
I mean,
not.
It's not good enough. She wants them to be censored.
like you go on the internet, duh.
They hurt my feelings, bitch. Shut the fuck up. Dende says Andrew Tate just got arrested by the Matrix Society. Yep.
Like, yeah, you're gonna get insulted on the internet.
Who hasn't been
But
insulted?
it's obviously it's quite hard,
Oh, I get
especially when you're
insulted all the
receiving a lot of hate from all these men.
I mean, I get it.
I've
had
It's hard, dude. Cry me a fucking river.
I've had hundreds of videos.
Nobody put their hands on you. Nobody said anything to you in person. Shut up.
made on TikTok like that go
Jesus
after my
Christ.
appearance. It happens to me like
But
every
Pearl,
single
you
day.
called a girl a
she's
whale.
a Pisces. She's a
You
Pisces.
know,
She's not
Pearl,
sensitive.
Pearl,
I
you
called-
called somebody
I
a
called-
whale.
Yeah, she was fat.
No,
That is
no,
a big
no. Okay,
insult.
one. I called her a whale after she attacked me. After she attacked me, she knocks the mic out of my hand. She called me a slag. I didn't know what that meant at the time. Okay, I had no idea what that meant. She called me a slag. Put the mic out of my hand. So of course I'm gonna call her a whale. You attacked me first. That's what they never talk about.
Exactly.
You got called a whale because you attacked me.
I missed a good episode. It sounds like.
No, it
was a street interview. And this girl, she like knocks the mic out of my hand, and they're pulling her back. You slag, and I was like, you're effing whale.
Drunken females.
But it was like that was a response. I've never called someone on my show a whale individually.
But when I came on your show, you were quite rude to me. I'm not gonna lie. No,
Bruh,
I'm not gonna lie.
how?
The way you conduct your show today
You're
was
mean.
great. Today was great. But when I was on your show last time, you were like, why you talk too much? I'm thinking, who is this woman talking to me like that? I'm not a child. But that's the thing.
Because
You were talking over people. I remember that episode. You interrupt people every time they fucking speak. You're very annoying. And as a host, it's bad radio to allow a belligerent woman to just go on and on and on and talk over people at every turn of the conversation.
you kept interrupting everybody the whole show.
Yep.
That's what happened. You kept
Yes, you did. Rewatch it. Run the tape back.
And
But so were you. So were you.
because
She's the fucking host. She owns the show. Dumbass.
because I'm the host.
Idiot.
And so today it's like we have a big guest. I'm gonna let him talk. But and no offense, you're just a normal guest. And normal guests, we don't let dominate the entire conversation.
I wasn't
Mhm.
dominating
And
the
wait,
conversation.
you
interrupt people.
were you probably talked
Just like you're doing to Pearl now.
70% of the time. And so I have to interrupt you and stop you because you're talking and nobody else in the
But
room had
you
a
didn't
chance.
need-
And nobody else in the room had a chance to talk. I understand I interrupt people, but that's part of your job as a host is to control the conversation.
Mhm.
And if anything, I probably control the conversation less than I should compared to most hosts.
No, but I think it's the way that you were rude. You could just be like, okay, let the next person talk. You were like, why you talk to me? That is so rude.
Because
Like
Dude,
that- like
shut
that
the
was
fuck
tried.
up.
we had tried multiple times to tell you nicely. Multiple times to tell you nicely, and it just had
You don't fucking listen. See, when you tell them nicely, they don't listen. So you got to say, hey, bitch, shut the fuck up. And then maybe she'll actually listen and she's going to get offended, but she'll shut the hell up.
it just kept escalating.
That is not true.
And you wouldn't-
That
think
is
You're
true.
trying to gaslight me right now because
Okay.
that's
Literally, if we run the tape back, you will all see. And I'm not even going to do it because she's been doing it this episode and she's doing it even with this conversation with Pearl. But she literally interrupts every single time.
not true. The thing is, you didn't agree with what I was saying, and then you and Auntie resulted to insults.
You and Auntie.
That-
Uh-oh, she brought Auntie in it. You see Auntie finna go buck wild. Here we go.
What I was saying, and then you and Auntie resulted to insults.
Uh-oh.
And
It
that's
wasn't
that's
an insult.
the reason. But that's the reason I would say. I'm not
Auntie,
coming
be
for you
nice.
right now because you know what? It's your show. But what I'm
You
trying
are
to say
coming
is,
for us.
But
You
what
are
I'm
coming for us. You
No,
just open your mouth. You
no,
are coming
listen,
for us.
listen. What I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to say is,
how was
can
I rude
can
to you? No, how was I rude to you? Why you call my name into it? How was I rude to you?
Exactly. You were talking to Pearl, then you brought Auntie, and you know Auntie a motherfucking dog. She finna get in your ass. See, Auntie, that's the Auntie you tell on, or you tattletale to, right? when they hit you when you were a little kid, you be like, Auntie, Esther hit me. That's the one who gonna give you that damn whooping. See, I'm taking that shit straight to Auntie. Oh yeah, I ain't gotta fight my battles. I'm gonna tell Auntie. That's all I'm gonna do.
But you were rude.
How was
I rude? You were rude.
This is just my point of view. You told a story where you said in other you didn't say
you're too
face,
nice about it, Pearl. You're saying it too nice. Listen, right? You come on the show. You come on the show, right? I don't care right now because you come on the streets.
You come on down.
You come on here.
You sound like a hooligan. Please just
listen. How she sound like a hooligan? She's trying to correct you. Respect your fucking elders for one. Even if I don't agree with Auntie on everything, and initially she was very rambunctious when she got on the show, and she learned how to calm it down a little bit. But when you come at Auntie, she gonna bite back, baby. Oh yeah, she gonna bite back. Okay, because she ain't got time for the bullshit. She ain't got time for it. So she's correcting you because you are younger than her. She is your elder, and you have no respect.
Right. If I sound like calm down, don't tell me about calm down.
Because
right?
you're shouting at me. Why are you shouting at me?
Who's shouting? Who's louder, Esther or Auntie? Literally, if I look at, and I know they Pearl, she's got all the equipment there. But if I look at the soundboard, I guarantee if you look at the decibels, Esther is way louder as in terms of decibels than Auntie for sure.
Slow down. If I sound like calm down, don't tell me about calm down.
Because
right?
you're shouting at me. Why are you shouting at me?
Hang on. I heard Mr. Tate talking right with passion, right, and loud. I had no way to tell him to calm down, right? You're there shouting off your mouth, right? I am being loud. I am being loud. Don't tell me about calm down because when he was talking, who was you?
Esther, you were the main one. You're the screecher.
Screeching out. Listen, right, as far as I'm concerned, don't even think about coming on Pearl's show and disrespecting her. You've done it already, and now you're coming back here to do it again. Pearl wasn't rude to you.
She was
right.
Rude to me.
Pearl wasn't rude to you.
Yes,
you know what? Because he spoke the truth, not your truth. Not your truth. Because at the end of the day, it's all out there. If you don't know what a woman is, and you can't say what a woman is,
do you know you're actually a bully? You're actually a bully because.
In her feelings, calling Auntie a bully. No, she's your fucking elder. Show some respect before she make you pick a damn switch.
Why? I'm like 3 times less your age and you're screaming like that. Calm down. You can't do that. Don't come and say this is a podcast. Have some manners, Auntie.
Shut the fuck up, Esther.
Stop.
See, this is why it's like, And if Tate would have stepped in, he would have been a misogynist, male or woman beater, all this shit.
Stop. Okay.
All right, guys, let's take.
All right, so that's pretty much it, guys. I appreciate everybody for joining the stream, man. You already know what it is. Nobody hit the Cash App, nobody hit the Super Trap, nobody hit the PayPal. So that just shows that niggas ain't really fucking with me like that. So, but anyways, it is what it is. I fuck with y'all the long way. So make sure you go ahead and like, comment, share, subscribe. See your relationship, of course, the email down below with a screenshot of your Cash App so I know you're paying your tithes, man. Y'all need to be on your marketing with the BS. And you already know. Reclaim your throne.
Want to become an elite level athlete? Well, look no further. The Reclaim Your Throne Elite D1 training course is all you need to take your performance from subpar to the creme de la creme of athletes all around the world. The purpose of this course is to give you a comprehensive weight training, speed, flexibility, recovery, and endurance program that is meant to prepare young athletes for collegiate and professional sports. This course is packed with over 2 hours of creative, action-packed lifts narrated and coached by yours truly to assure increased strength, speed, flexibility, recovery, and endurance. Hey, I get it. Training alone can be tough and can even make you feel misguided or somewhat unmotivated. But with this course, I walk you step by step through each and every lift to make sure you're using the proper form to prevent injuries and that you're hitting the correct muscle groups to render maximum results. So what are you waiting for? It's now or never. So go ahead and get the training course today so you too can reclaim your throne.